disconnected to pay money into private bank accounts for restoration. Police spokesperson Athlinda Mate.
The Gauteng PKTT will continue to work with relevant stakeholders to ensure that those who abuse their positions for personal financial gain are held accountable.
Meanwhile, Acting Police Minister Firoz Kachalia says the abuse of power exposed at the Tembisa Hospital is prevalent across local government. Kachalia was addressing a commemoration of slain whistleblower Babita Deokaran in Johannesburg yesterday, 5 years since her assassination. Deokaran was the acting chief director of financial accounting at the Gauteng Health Department when she exposed millions of rands in irregular payments. State investigators have since uncovered a network of 3 criminal syndicates with alleged links to suspected fraudster Hangwani Maumela and alleged crime kingpin Vusmuzi Kat Matlala. While 6 hitmen have been convicted for Deokaran's murder, the mastermind is yet to be identified. Kachalia acknowledged systemic corruption, which might be protecting criminal role players.
That problem of systemic corruption that we've seen in Tembisa Hospital is one that is pervasive in many government departments, in local governments across our country. It is the disease, it is the illness that is eating at this country's hopes and possibilities.
The ANC says there's no pressure to announce its mayoral candidates for key municipalities. An announcement for its metro candidates was expected over the weekend, but it was cancelled at the 11th hour. The party says it will only make the announcements in September, 2 months before the local government elections. Alpha Ramushwana has more.
The party has finally unveiled its nominees for Johannesburg, which are incumbent Mayor Tata Morero, his deputy Loyiso Masuku, and Reverend Frank Chikane. ANC Gauteng convener Panyaza Lisufi says while the party will announce its mayoral candidates relatively late, it will not succumb to unnecessary pressure.
The ANC work as a collective. We are not in a beauty contest, one person elevate above other people. You do that, you will have the challenges that we had with Herman Mashaba. Why Herman Mashaba didn't last? Because the DA felt that it was above the political party. They are committing the same mistake of trying to elevate somebody called Ellen Zille to be the other thing.
Lisufi believes the ANC remains the best party to lead Gauteng's municipalities. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And at least 30 people have been killed when a mound of rubbish at a major waste site collapsed near homes in Guinea's capital, Conakry. 22 people have been injured. 6 others have been seriously injured in the city's Dar es Salaam area. The government says the military has been roped in to help emergency teams search for survivors. The collapse happened following heavy rainfall overnight. Gold is trading at $4,602.61 an ounce. The rand is at 16.02 to the dollar, 21.85 to the pound, 18.70 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.11 a barrel.
And in the traffic, please be on the lookout for roadworks that are taking place on the N1 South approaching the Baklu interchange. There's also roadworks on the N3 North in the Germiston area already causing delays between the Earlands turnoff and Van Buren Road.
And in your sport, Sundowns lose MTN 8 semi-final first leg to Arrows, while their women's team make the COSAFA Champions League qualification knockouts. Liverpool and City salvage points late on in the Premier League season openers, while Brighton batter Villa. Lewis Hamilton upset over Ferrari's lack of team orders in the Netherlands, and there's a powerhouse doubles team given a wildcard entry into the US Open mixed doubles tournament.
A fine day in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg starting at 7 degrees, peaking at 25, Pretoria 10 and 27, Vereeniging 5 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, 7 employees from the Mfuleni local municipality are expected to appear in the Funnelvale Park Magistrates Court today.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Every promise, every ward, every word. Follow every moment of the local government elections on 702 Cape Talk and ewn.co.za.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
6 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Monday, the 24th of August, the year of our Lord 2026. Welcome to the program. Today, we're going to be looking at the trade war that has escalated between Canada and the US. Negotiators could not reach agreement. Some of the demands made by the US were quite extraordinary, right down to the use of French as an official business language, to the composition of Canadian cheese. It gives you a sense of the world we are living in, and we'll tell you why it matters to you all the way here in South Africa. The ANC, you heard the Eyewitness News Bulletin, Sifiso Zulu saying they withdrew the announcement at the 11th hour. It was quite literally the 11th hour because it was meant to be announced at 9 o'clock, I think it was. Then they shifted it to 11 o'clock. It really was the 11th hour when they did a U-turn. Panyaza Lesufi there saying it's not a beauty contest. Have you ever gone on a date, first date with someone new, you're excited, you think, oh, this could really go somewhere, and they spend the date talking about their ex, whether it's virtues or vices, but the conversation is about their ex. So the ANC won't tell us who their mayoral candidates are, but in that clip, all Panyaza can talk about is Herman Mashaba and Helen Zille. A couple of times. In fact, at some point he says, Herman Zille, and then he corrects himself. Isn't that what they're doing now? Your thoughts?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Our big interview is with the ANC Deputy Secretary General Nomvula Mokonyane, former government minister, former premier of this province. This, of course, after the party revealed or released its manifesto, its elections manifesto for the year 2026. Is that something you even care about? Is that something you have read or would go out of your way to find and read? It's about 65 pages long. And a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it are really, really solid promises. But also, I couldn't help thinking that any party could have made those promises. Any party could promise better fiscal management of municipal finances, of the municipal purse. Any party could talk about cleaning up and holding officials accountable who try to dip into the kitty. Any party could say those things. There wasn't anything specifically ANC-ish, if you know what I mean. And one of their concerns, can you believe it? One of their concerns is if they announce the candidates, they tell us, that it's Frank Chikane who will run for the mayor of Joburg. If they do that now, whichever of the two other candidates who does not get to be chosen could jump ship and join another party that might also be black, green, and gold. Mshiniwam, anyone? Mshiniwam, anyone? Isn't that the most extraordinary thing? I'm going to play you a clip from Gwede Mantashe, who actually said this. He was speaking to the SABC's Samkela Maseko, and this is what he said. He thinks that if they do it too early, they want to make sure that whoever wants to jump ship or would jump ship doesn't have enough time. We're 2 months and give or take 8 days before the election, and they can't tell us who they think amongst their ranks should run Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, Tshwane. How long has Helen Zille been campaigning? Since last year. First out of the gate. Is it your sense that they've given up on Johannesburg, or even the idea that they could run these without a coalition, and they're just really hoping for the best? Right up until the last minute. The speculation, of course, is that behind the scenes, the fights were quite intense. Not quite fisticuffs, but intense nonetheless. What did you make of the ANC's big manifesto launch? How strategic was it that they chose Riverside, just outside of Deep Sloot? I was watching the coverage on SABC. All of Limpopo was there. All of Polokwane was bussed there. Oh, your thoughts. Let's talk.
Yeah, this guy, Ntate Panyaza Lesufi, he's so disrespectful. He says somebody so-called Helen Zille. I mean, Really now? That's so childish.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa is brought to you by BCX, helping South African organizations turn cloud, data, and AI investments into faster decisions, smarter operations, and measurable business outcomes. I'm not alone, of course, as always, an entire team of colleagues with me in the studio, working behind the scenes, many of them. Producers Siamtanda and Bapelila are in the booth today. Karabo always doing social media content. KG starting the clock. Rafio putting the show together in the afternoons. And, of course, in the studio and on the mics this morning, we've got Amo. A very good morning to you, Amo.
Good morning, Bongs. Morning, 702 Landers.
Muteo is also here with business news and so much more.
Morning, Bongs.
Tada.
I I'm wondering if I should tell you about my weekend or just talk about the
Tell
US
me
and
about
Canada.
your weekend.
I think the two of them just couldn't share a drink. And I say that because Canada has taken most of the US alcohol off the shelves, which hurt the US quite badly. More than $340 million dollars lost over the past year. And they're not obviously going to do that until the two of them agree on a trade deal. So this sudden change from the US to say we're going to slap you with 50% of tariffs and to try and bend Canada's hand, I don't think will work because, of course, Canada before has met them dollar for dollar and hasn't quite worked out for them. And that's what they've promised as well this weekend to say, if you hit us with tariffs, we'll do the same.
Yeah, there's only really been two other countries that said we will do exactly that, dollar for dollar. I think it's China and Canada that have done that. And of course, as you say, it didn't work out well. The Business Day is saying these new tariffs are going to hit sectors such as wine, furniture, dairy products, cement, clothing, fishing rods, and hockey equipment, covering around $20 billion of Canadian exports to the US. So we'll see what develops out of that. Amo, did you have a good weekend?
Very good morning, Bongs. Once more, I did have a good weekend. Yeah, man, it was a lovely one. And it just went off like that. On Sunday, I was just like, yeah, tomorrow is back to school.
Back to school.
It's back to school.
I had book club, so that was the highlight of the weekend. I didn't really do very much else over the weekend. But it was the book club, and that was enough. And of course, we watched the rugby. It was a rushed book club. You know, when you're going, please
just wrap it up.
Please make the point. And someone wants to say, no, I want to read my quotes. I want to talk about this theme.
I took the time to read this book.
You're like, hurry up. And then we went and lost the rugby anyway. Well, here's a question for the two of you. I'll shout out this morning very simply this. On what basis do you give second chances? When somebody asks, what do you need to know has changed before you give that second chance? How do you know the person who's asking has corrected their behavior?
When they're sincere about their apology or whatever behavior that they had.
But how do you know?
They have to prove it, Bongs. There's no other way. And also, if a person comes and says, you know, I have stopped doing this, and then you ask, what have you done to show? What are you doing to show me that you have stopped? Let's say maybe you've got an addiction to drugs or alcohol, you know, and maybe the person says, you know, I've stopped drinking, or I've stopped, you know, hanging around people who are, you know, those kind of things, I think.
Okay. Muteo?
It depends what the mistake was. If it's something that's forgivable, then you give someone a chance. But if it's something you can't come back from, then it's hard to give the chance.
So what are you saying? The second chance is not dependent on any behavior of theirs.
You'll never be sure about the behavior. It could be last 2 months.
No. What I'm saying is, are you saying that the second chance is dependent almost entirely on your view
It's you.
of whether it ought to be given?
Yeah.
Not the change.
Yeah, because you'll never be sure whether change will actually be sustainable or will last.
Goodness me. Oh, all right. Don't mess with Mateo Haripa then. 072-702-1702. You can send us a WhatsApp voice note. You can call us on 011-883-0702. Our shout out, of course, is our way of illustrating something that's in the news that we think you ought to know about. And this is sort of our entry point into that conversation. On what basis do you give second chances? And how do you know the person asking has corrected their behavior.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa is brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted telecom business connectivity. Powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
All right, let me play you this clip of Gwede Mantashe, the ANC's national chairperson, who explains, speaking to the SABC's Samkela Maseko, why the ANC chose not to announce mayoral candidates, or at least one candidate per municipality, because he is concerned that those who do not get chosen could potentially defect to other parties. It's the most extraordinary admission.
Mola, Mr. Mandash.
It's not your business, Maseko.
How are you?
It's not your business, really.
How was the selection process? You did not want to grant me, take my phone calls, did not want to engage with me.
You know this man.
I know him.
He is full of rubbish.
You're live on TV. Mr. Mandash, how was the interview process? You did not want to be seen.
That's good. For the first time, we went to content before we nominate.
How were the candidates? How did they perform, particularly in contentious municipalities?
Let me tell you, many of these candidates qualified to be mayors, but want 1%.
Who are those ones? Just give me a glimpse.
No, you will get that further down the line. Not now.
Are we getting it today?
No, today you'll get all 4 of them. Because others will want to defect if they are not made mayors. People must say these are the people who are nominated by the ANC, here they are. And then when they defect, they know that that one was in the ANC event, is now here.
So today you are not announcing it, just unveiling all candidates of mayors.
Unveiling all the candidates.
Isn't that unbelievable? He says if we announce them too soon, they may go to other parties. Huh? Wouldn't you want them to do that then? Because clearly their blood surely isn't green, black, and gold. Let them. Let them, right? Do you think the party is in... I mean, I didn't think they were in such disarray. I knew there were divisions. I knew there were challenges. But this sounds like complete disarray.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
19 after 6. Mateo Haripa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, are you good at starting over? Do you firstly see it as a challenge and rebuilding your life? Or is it something you just dread because you once lived one part of your life really, really great and now you lost everything, having to start from scratch? Are you good at starting over?
I suppose in some ways I'm almost too good at starting over. I do it so frequently. We moved around a lot when I was a child. And one of the things I've tried to do is to provide stability for my kids and make sure we don't. I've lived in the same house for almost 20 years now. So my daughter, for example, knows no other home. But what it also means is that I think, having grown up as somebody who moved quite frequently, I think of the 12 years of schooling, I probably would have gone to about 10. That's how frequently
That's a lot
moved.
of starting over.
Do you know what I mean? But it's made me very flexible and adaptable.
Yeah. Far too good at it then.
Yeah.
10.
Ish.
Not at all. I'm not good at starting over.
I'd rather keep things the way
I thrive on what you call, not consistency, on,
predictability.
Yeah, and doing things by the book, knowing that today is Monday, we're going this, we're doing this, we're doing that. From here, we're going here. I function on that.
You're probably one of those people with a weekly menu. Like we eat fish on Monday.
Absolutely. And if that... yes, I plan my menus for the week.
So what are we eating
Monday.
Today? I want to see if I can come for dinner.
We're having brown rice and chicken.
What are we doing with the chicken?
We're roasting the chicken.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You're tempting me now.
And some of the salads that got left over from yesterday. I have a meal prep for tomorrow. Guys,
everyone in the house.
My life is on the book. And
you can't feel like a pizza on Monday.
I can't. No.
The spreadsheet said no.
702.
Weather.
21 after 6, a fine day in store for Gauteng. Somebody explained to me how we were freezing 2 weeks ago and last night was blistering hot. I had to move the duvet and just use the flat sheet. How? 25 degrees is your peak in Joburg today. 27 in Pretoria, 26 in Vereeniging. Cape Town max is at 21 degrees. Mahikeng 27. Gqeberha 21. Kukompo 22. Durban 24.
EWN Traffic.
It's 21 after 6. Looking at your maps, what are you seeing?
Bongani, a horrible start this morning, particularly if you're traveling within the Houghton area. We've got a major accident on the M1 North. It happened after Houghton Drive. It's causing heavy delays already. There's also queuing traffic on the N12 and the R24 West heading towards Bedford View due to peak time delays. And then if you're heading towards the Woodmead area, do expect delays on the M1 South. This is due to roadworks near the Baklu interchange. We'll have more updates, but if you see anything else, we're in X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. This Wednesday at 10 to 9, we'll be joined by Old Mutual's Chief Executive of Group Social Investment, Dumiso Zulu, to talk about the work they're doing to help build a better South Africa. Tune in to 702 and join the conversation. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, walk the talk.
In case you're on the highway, driving to your first big maize delivery and something mysterious happens. You stop at the garage to scope the damage. You realize the fuel system is kinda dear my car. You panic. But then you take a deep breath because you know Hino Care Gap Cover is there to cover anything outside the standard 6-year warranty. From steering columns to ABS control modules, it's the unseen essential in your business. Speak to your Hino dealer. T's and C's apply. Hino. All the way.
Everyone has their first, that life-changing moment when the music spoke to your soul and you both listened. With global icons Kamasi Washington, Angelique Kidjo, Themba Mkhize and Africa Mkhize, Ibrahim Malouf, Flowetree, Manana, Internet Ati, and over 40 world-class acts. This is Jazz Reignited, the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, 25th and 26th September. Buy your weekend pass now via Ticketmaster.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
A mobile virtual network operator. In other words, you're using a cell phone company that doesn't actually own its own network. They rent space from other networks. And a new report out this week showing Africa's market for these operators looks like it's about to grow rapidly.
And we expect South Africa itself to grow to more than 14 million by 2030. And then we have the rest of the continent, which is almost 1.5 billion SIM cards at the moment.
Dobek Partak, Director of Business Development at Africa Analysis.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking. Across West Africa, Genza Energy is strengthening reliable energy supply with more than 334 megawatts of installed generation capacity, while building the infrastructure needed for future growth. Through a EU 456 million rand financing facility, ABSA CIB is proud to support Genza's progress. That's how we're invested in your story. ABSA is a registered FSP.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Morning 702. ANC can't find a mayor because they are all corrupt. So they were looking for a better or a less corrupt official who can run Joburg or any other metro. Yeah, so they try to check who's less corrupt than the other, but they can't find anybody who's not corrupt. So it's a problem. Serenka from Spray View, thank you.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
25 after 6, things you need to know at this hour. So one of the big stories to follow is, of course, the corruption trial of the former National Assembly Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa Nqakula. That continues in the Gauteng High Court. The proceedings had been delayed after her defense team asked for the full transcripts of the case. They want to prepare a Section 174 discharge application. And essentially what that is when they ask the court to find an accused person not guilty at the end of the state's case because they say there's no evidence that could possibly get to a conviction. So essentially they're saying the state hasn't made a strong enough case. This thing mustn't even continue. Don't waste the court's time, essentially, is what they're asking for. What was the most physically demanding thing you had to do as a child or even as a teenager? I mean, if you're from the rural areas, did you have to go fetch water from the river, walk long distances to school? Did you ever have to work in the fields? Maybe even look after your siblings? or cook for a large family. Listen to the story coming out of Japan. A father and his two sons took a hike up Mount Fuji. This is the highest mountain in Japan, for several hours with nothing more than a soft drink and a snack. Then the younger son was found sitting on a bench in foggy, rainy conditions at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters. The father had simply told because the child got tired. And the father and the other son went up to complete the rest of the hike to the top. And they just told him, Wena, you're tired. Just sit there. We'll be back now. Can you imagine? We'll get more details from Adam Gilchrist on that story. Every drop counts as temperatures climb across Gauteng. Residents are being urged now to think twice before turning on the tap because our water reserves across the province are under growing pressure. That's what I want to say. The Gauteng provincial government calling on residents, businesses, and all institutions to cut back on water consumption because we will be having those reservoir and storage issues. The American filmmaker and director, television producer Ava Marie DuVernay turns 54 today. You'll know her, of course, as the first African-American woman to be nominated for a Best Director Golden Globe, Best Wind Director at the Sundance Festival. Her acclaimed work includes Selma, 13th, When They See Us, and A Wrinkle in Time. And on this day in 1999, 18-year-old Christina Aguilera released her self-titled debut album, instantly marking the arrival of a powerful new voice in pop music. It featured this hit, Come On Over Baby, What a Girl Wants, Genie in a Bottle.
702.
The newspapers.
Come on over, Sfiso Zulu.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's in the papers?
Bongani, China was expected to launch a huge mission in the moon near the south pole of the moon over the weekend, but it had to suspend that. This mission was basically expected to search for water ice, something no country has ever directly tested before. Why this matters? The water could become drinking water, breathable air, or even fuel for rockets, which is why China and the US are actually racing to get there first. But China says, well, our aircraft is not ready for the mission as we had anticipated, so now we have to cancel the entire thing. And now this gives America some breathing room to go to the moon first and get that ice, that water ice.
I wonder if the people who doubt that there was ever a moon landing might believe it now. The front page of the Business Day, the NC vowing 30% cut in municipal debt. And they've got a picture of President Ramaphosa as the party's president dancing at the party's election manifesto. The front page of the Sowetan this morning, much the same. ANC pleads for another chance. And that's why we're asking you, on what basis do you give second chances? What would it take for you to give this party yet another go at it?
EWN Business.
Are you good at starting over? Maybe you don't give the second chance, you start over. Hey, Mateo. Moved from one city to another, lost everything and had to rebuild from scratch. Moved from one industry to a totally new one. What prompts the question?
Bongani, Cell C has officially exited a technical insolvency after years of financial distress, with a major balance sheet restructuring during the 2026 financial year, turning things around for the firm. Now, the turnaround marks a significant change for the South African telecommunications company, which had been technically insolvent for several years, with accumulated losses leaving its liabilities much greater than its assets. Now, in 2020, South African mobile operator Cell C carried a massive debt burden of between 7.3 and 8 billion rand in secured loans and found itself in financial distress, leaving it to miss some of its payments, amongst them $184 million note, alongside missed loans and interest payments to major lenders. Now, for this financial year, Cell C has reported a 57% jump in headline earnings for the year 2026. As stronger prepaid sales helped drive growth. Since listing independently last year on the JSE, revenue has reached 12.6 billion rand, while earnings rose by 2.3 billion. The company also reducing its debt to around 2 billion. You'll remember earlier I said they had debt of around 8 billion billion. So they've been cutting it year by year. Things are looking like they're turning around for the firm. Also adding more prepaid revenue and customers during the period. So a fresh start for them, and it seems like a good one.
All right. Is the rand? Has it exited its troubles?
No, yes, it hasn't been in trouble, really. It's at 16.01, guys. It's quite really impressive.
Reached 15, yeah.
Yes, 16.01 this morning against the US dollar, 18 rand 69 against the euro, 21 rand 84 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,637 an ounce. It's up more than 0.5% this morning. Platinum also in the good at $1,896. Brent crude also up close to 1%. Now at $92.98 a barrel. More business after 7.
Straight to the news desk we go. In this next half an hour, of course, we'll talk about those collapsed talks between neighbors Canada and the US. And talking about borders, Sfisa Zulu, what have you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. 2 suspects linked to a cross-border theft syndicate have been arrested in Centurion. The men were traveling along the N1 on Saturday when they were stopped by Tshwane Metro Police. Several motorcycle parts were found inside their car, which the suspects could not account for. Officials confirmed the motorcycles were stolen in separate cases around Gauteng and were being smuggled out of the country. The police's Puleng Mutolo.
Recovered items include a black Toyota Foxy, a Honda, a Yamaha, and a True Triumph motorcycle engines. The estimated value of the stolen property is 880,000 rand.
The Western Cape Community Policing Forum Board has called on police to arrest those responsible for the murders of 3 ANC members in Knysna. Mandla Toyololo and Mandla Madiwane were shot in the Bongani informal settlement last Thursday. Their deaths came a day after ANC Ward Councillor Aubrey Tengwa was also shot. Board Chairperson Francina Lucas.
The recent killings of ANC councillors and politicians in the Knysna area is condemned in the strongest terms. We call on SAPS to swiftly and efficiently investigate and bring the perpetrators to book.
The ANC has pledged to reduce municipalities' reliance on contractors and external service providers for basic internal services. The Auditor General has previously flagged municipalities plagued by the appointment of poor-performing service providers. Questions have since been raised about why government continues with this trend when it has its own employees. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa committed to reducing the party's reliance on external service providers going forward. He was speaking yesterday at the ANC's election manifesto launch near Depsloot.
Comrades, we will reduce excessive dependence on consultants and contractors by rebuilding technical and engineering and financial project management capacity of municipalities. Finally, this disease of outsourcing everything.
And Russia says 2 children are among the people killed by falling debris from a Ukrainian drone attack in the south of the country. 9 other people were wounded when the debris fell onto a childcare center in Krasnodar. The latest attacks come as Ukraine prepares to mark the 35th anniversary of its independence today. Russia has railed against the attacks on its civilian infrastructure more than 4 years into its full-scale offensive on Ukraine that has killed thousands of civilians. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 25 and 27 degrees, peaking at highs between 25 and 27.
And in the traffic, of got delays on the M1 North. This is between the Killarney Bends and Glenhove Road due to a major accident. And then in the Marlborough area, we're being told of a protest activity in the area. Please try to avoid routes like Marlborough Drive, Far East Bank, as well as the N3 turnoff right at Marlborough Drive.
The top story this hour: 2 suspects linked to a cross-border theft syndicate have been arrested in Centurion.
Hi, this is Anlia Itzebet, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Your business needs that new hydraulic lift But do you have the cash to fund it? Before you compromise on the core items of your business needs, have you looked at saving on your business insurance? Switch to OUTsurance Business Insurance and you could save a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. For plumbing, electrical, tradesman services, and all other businesses, visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. OUTsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
They said they didn't have a favorite, but that wasn't true. Mom takes pictures of it, and then Dad shows it off to visitors, and no one is allowed to touch it with sticky hands. When I arrived, they let the butcher hold me.
Melissa, we've spoken about kicking the new Decofern table. Come meet Decofern's irresistible new arrivals and grab your favorite furniture at your favorite prices. Now at your nearest Decofern or decofernsa.co.za.
You made your mark on election day. But what happens after the votes are counted? This week, catch the Clement Manyatela Show in conversation with the South African Local Government Association on 702. Tune in as we unpack how local democracy works, what you can expect from your ward councillor, and how every resident can play a meaningful role in shaping their community. Democracy lives here. Make your voice count beyond the ballot box. The Clement Manyatela Show in conversation with Salga, inspiring service delivery. This week on 702.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? It's brought to you by OUTsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. So what you do is you send us an answer based on something that piqued your interest during the show, and for that you win 1,000 Rand. You WhatsApp us your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. Someone actually asked me the other day, they said, how do people know what the answer is? Where do they get the answer? They thought, do I go to Prime Media Plus and look for the answer? No, you just listen to the show and then you just send us an answer. Then someone else will ask a question to win 2,000 Rand to get to your answer. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance.
This is 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted connectivity, powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
Morning, Bongs. Morning to everyone. Morning to the team. You know, Bongani, I said it before. You can treat a dog how bad. The dog will always go to his owner for food. The ANC, what they done to this country. The last election, every time they say, give us another chance, give us another chance. This time it's not going to happen with me. I'm sorry.
Morning, everyone. Blessed week. Banyaza, the mistake that he's making by digressing and mentioning other people's names whenever he speaks in the media is automatically going to divert the attention of the public to those people. So he's actually sabotaging his team in this case. Not clever at all. Not clever.
Hi, morning, Bongs. Obre and Pastoras. Bongani missed the shower in the hotel, aka Panyaza Lesufi. He has run out of ideas and he knows it. And he has this thing. You remember even the GNU, he said Gauteng will enter late in the negotiations. He has this thing that is running Gauteng. Can someone humble him, please? And this thing, the so-called Helen Zila. Come on, Panyaza, show some respect, man. Grow up. Thank you, Bongani.
So I played a clip earlier of the Gauteng Premier saying the reason they, as a party, have not told us who they think amongst their own ranks ought to be the candidates for mayor positions across the country is because it's not a beauty contest. And he said they're not going to do what other parties do. And he mentioned, of course, a couple of the opposition political party leaders. And I was saying it's one of those things, much like on a first date, when you're looking forward to spending time with someone new and all they can talk about are either the vices or the virtues, as the case may be, of their previous partner. It just doesn't. It's a bit of a red flag, isn't it? I'd love to know, I'd really, really love to know from an ANC voter who was thinking of flipping, who was convinced yesterday. I'd love to know from someone who is, in fact, going to give them a second chance. There must be. Send us WhatsApp voice note on 072 702 1702.
EWN Sport.
Anthony Teixeira, I know we'll speak about the football in a moment. Did you watch the rugby on Saturday?
Yeah, I was completely glued to the TV.
Did you have a whole viewing gathering at your house?
No, I just have a
Mates?
party of one. I refuse to watch rugby in public or around other people.
Why?
There's a lot of swearing that polite company might not enjoy. And so I don't bring that out into the public space.
That must be your dog, hey?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, Cassie
Could
was
never be.
totally responsible.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of Sundowns fans were swearing yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. As Mamelodi Sundowns suffered a first loss of their new campaign. It was an MTN 8 first leg semi-final defeat to Golden Arrows. Junior Dion on target for Arrows in the first half at the Lucas Moripa Stadium as they won 1-0. Dance coach Miguel Cardozo saying it was a tough result to take.
Sorry?
Dance coach Miguel Cardozo.
Who?
Miguel Cardozo.
Cardozo.
Yeah, he's the Sundowns coach.
Cardozo.
He said it was a tough result to take.
I just hope that the pain I feel today is felt by the players. Because if the pain I feel is felt by the players, there will be a lot of energy in the next weekend. This pain must be transformed in energy, positive energy. Because there's still 90 minutes to play, plus a few minutes. And we are able to win goals to this team. We are winning to win. We are able to win, and we have to.
In the other semi-final, Orlando Pirates have a goal advantage over Sekhukhune United, while Sundowns women won their second group game in the COSAFA CAF Champions League women's qualification. 3-0 it was against Malawi side Silver Strikers. In the Premier League, Enzo Maresca's start at the Etihad was a 2-1 comeback victory for Man City over Bournemouth. Centre-backs Gay and Guardiola with the goals late on. Elsewhere, a 99th minute Shabajlai penalty salvaged a 2-2 draw for Liverpool at Newcastle. Aston Villa's new look side were hammered 4-0 at Brighton. Jean Gomes sent off on his debut. While in rugby, the Springboks have a week to turn things around in the Greatest Rivalry series as they look towards that second test in Cape Town on next Saturday. This past Saturday, they suffered a 33-16 defeat in the opener to the All Blacks at Ellis Park. Meanwhile, the Cheetahs booked a home Currie Cup semi-final after beating the Bowling Cavaliers 33-24, moving second on the log just behind the Griquas. In Formula One, world champ Lando Norris picked up where he left off just before the summer break as he claimed back-to-back Grand Prix victories. He took the checkered flag at the Dutch GP ahead of championship leader Kimi Antonelli. Questionable strategy for Ferrari, where they failed to let Lewis Hamilton ahead of teammate Charles Leclerc, although he had newer tyres and quicker pace. Seven-time world champ telling the team that they let a podium slip as he finished P4 behind George Russell.
I'm here to win, and it is difficult when you see, when you're looking ahead and you see the two Mercedes drivers, they get the call and it's done, and they execute straight away. They let Kimi by and let him get on with the race, and I was on a different strategy, and it's not the same here, and that's a little bit difficult.
Well, let's switch now to tennis, where Coco Gauff claimed a second Cincinnati Open women's singles title as she won the final 6-2, 6-4 against Jessica Pegula. Arthur Fields was crowned the men's champion in a 6-3, 1-6, 6-love victory over Frances Tiafoe. And Serena Williams will return to the US Open, where she'll be playing in the mixed doubles event, which starts Tuesday. Her partner will be none other than the 2025 men's singles champion, Carlos Alcaraz. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, returns to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from 28 to 30 August. Experience thrilling track drives, supercars, drifting, 4x4 adventures, and the very latest in automotive innovation. Book your tickets now on Howler, the Festival of Motoring, where legacy meets innovation.
Planning for retirement doesn't have to be overwhelming. Join PPS on the 19th of September for its annual retirement summit. If you're under 45, David Mashabela will guide conversations on wealth building. If you're over 45, Bruce Whitfield will share insights on how one idea can unlock meaningful outcomes. Each program is designed for your life stage with a meal, networking, and practical insights for your financial future. At only 150 Rand per person. Book now at pps.co.za/retirement summit. PPS, success is better shared, and a clearer plan and a clearer plan. PPS is a licensed life insurer, controlling company, and authorized FSP.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Hello, my name is Shilova. I'm 12 years old. I go to Walter Freedom Park Primary, and when I grow up, I want to be an architect. I'm very excited and nervous to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani.
702.
Coming up at 7:15. The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
Aw, Shilua sounds so cute there. We can't wait to play with you too, my child. In the meantime, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. What's going on the M1 North, Amo?
Bongani, there's a major accident. It happened near Glenhove Road. It's causing delays coming out of the Kilani Bends. Please be on the lookout there. As a result, if you are coming out of the Boysons Road exit and you are experiencing delays, please know that part of it is due to that accident that happened right near the Glenhove Road exit. If you are traveling on the N3 North, we've got delays in the Spruitview area between Heidelberg Road and Spruitview, and then in the Four Ways area, there's queuing traffic on the Winnie Mandela Drive. This is between Leslie Avenue and Witkoppen Road. That's due to roadworks taking place along this route, so please approach with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 55. Is this the right outfit choice for my shape? Ladies, embrace all your beauty this Women's Month. With the Outsurance Pointsmen on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Bongani. This is Medisi here. I think when you give someone a second chance, you don't know that they've corrected the behavior. That's why it's called a second chance. So you're giving them a chance to show you that they won't do that thing again. It's a chance you take. So you don't really know that they've corrected the behavior. Thank you.
Yeah, but something must lead you to either believing they have. I mean, that hope must be backed up by something, right? That they either have or that they could.
I was about to say that it's also about the hope that you have for the person, that, I hope this is it, because you don't want to give up on people because of mistakes that they've made.
On what basis do you give second chances? How do you know if somebody has corrected the behavior?
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
All right, let's play the Whiz Quiz. Up next, of course, we'll talk about that trade war between the States and Canada. In the meantime, we're playing today with 12-year-old Shilua, who wants to be an architect later on in life. Are you ready to play the Whiz Quiz, Shilua?
Yes.
Oh, that sigh. Why that sigh? Big weekend? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, all right. KG, let's play the Whiz Quiz. What gas do humans breathe in?
Oxygen.
Correct. What is 25 times 2?
60.
It's 50. Which sport uses terms like eagle, birdie, par, and bogey? Is it golf or tennis?
Golf.
Correct. In which country would you find the ancient pyramids? China or Egypt?
Egypt.
Correct. True or false? The sun is classified as a yellow dwarf star.
True.
Correct. What is the name of Simba's father in The Lion King?
Mufasa.
Correct. In which province can we find Kimberley?
Northern Cape.
Correct. What is 5 times 5?
25.
Correct. The largest planet in our solar system is?
Jupiter.
Correct. Spell the word Tuesday.
TUESDAY.
That is correct. And all in time, too. You've answered all 10 questions, only one wrong. That's how close you were, Shiluba. Great round there for you. You walk away with 900 Rand. Remember to play the Whiz Quiz. You must be aged 10 to 13. And of course, on Mondays, it's Maths Monday. Don't know if you noticed, we had 2 questions there that related to maths. Now, if you're struggling with maths or you want to improve your grades, well, Prime Media Cares in partnership with Simi are helping thousands of high school learners with their maths. Check out the free training videos and revision sessions on Prime Media Plus, or you can go to www.simi.education.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
I warned that America is trying to break us so they can own us. And I promise that that will never, ever happen. We are keeping that promise. Canada is becoming stronger and less dependent on America. We are already giving ourselves more than they can take away. And we are just getting started. As we observed earlier this week in St. John's, Canadians don't submit to the weather, we thrive in it. We don't wait to see which way the wind's blowing or surrender ourselves to the waves to be storm-tossed by events. We set our own course. We make our own weather. Au Canada, nous sommes maîtres chez nous de l'océan à l'autre, building Canada strong.
America is trying to break us so they can own us. The words there of the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney. So no deal. The US and Canada failing to reach an agreement in ongoing trade talks, and the negotiations broke down, and they've now triggered new major tariffs by the US against its neighbor. But the Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has vowed to match them dollar for dollar. The last-minute collapse of the talks means that relations between the two countries are now in uncharted territory. What does all of this mean for both economies? And what might it mean for us down here in this part of the world? Dr. Terence McNamee is a senior fellow at the Montreal Institute for Global Security and International Relations and security analyst. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, Terence. At its simplest, what's gone wrong here between, is it Trump and Carney, or just really the broader US-Canada relationship?
Thanks, Bongani. Yeah, I think it's the broader Canada-U.S. relationship. I mean, Canada is in no mood to cave into unrealistic U.S. demands. In fact, that was wonderful rhetoric from our prime minister, but the fact is it would be political suicide for him to do so, because Canadians, generally speaking, are exasperated with the Trump administration. So his threats about 51st state, his unreliability, and that's exactly the same for Canada's provincial premiers, which in the Canadian system are very powerful. They're also exasperated, and none were interested in a take-it-or-leave-it deal. So generally speaking, Canadians are prepared to take more pain, even more job losses in certain sectors, than they are to give in to unrealistic U.S. demands.
Let's talk about those unrealistic U.S. demands. I mean, some of them seemed extraordinary to me. Apropos domestic laws, I mean, from the consumption, or at least the composition of cheese, and even the use of the French language.
Yeah, so as Carney said, it was really along 3 levels that they justified walking away from the table. And that was the auto sector, which is very important to Canada's largest province. Also in terms of what was defined in terms of Canadian goods. And then generally speaking, curtailing Canada's ability to make trade agreements with other countries. I mean, that was a non-starter. And then 3, the thing that really pulled that sort of Canadian heartstrings, issues around language, sovereignty, cultural protection. So there was no way, but we have to remember that Canada and Carney were ready for this. They were very much ready to walk away from the table. I mean, they had the script already written, and I think, one of the great lines which we'll remember from his explanation is that sometimes these days the U.S. signature is written in pencil, and what he meant by that is that the United States just become unreliable. If we sign something tonight, are they just going to rip it up in a week? So generally speaking, Canadians are behind the Prime Minister on this one.
He is such an expert when it comes to rhetoric, is he not? But he also said this was an attack on the Canadian people. I suppose what we should worry about is that, no doubt, it will be a disaster for the sectors concerned. But I would imagine the fact that the two sides have now stopped talking, it doesn't appear that there are any conversations ongoing at the moment, and that's a real worry.
Well, it is, but if you subscribe to the taco view of the world, and that is that Trump always chickens out, it's entirely possible that he could come back to the table. Because remember, in terms of Canada, and if we compare this to sort of South Africa, what does Canada have in its advantage? And it holds a lot of cards, particularly in the energy space. So right now in the United States, they're wondering what is Carney going to do in terms of levying counter tariffs, which are supposed to come in after Labor Day. And remember, the United States, generally speaking, is not in favor with what's going on, particularly in terms of governors of certain states, which are highly dependent on Canada in terms of energy and so forth. And this is really important to remember, is that it is Donald Trump and a few of his loyalists who are driving this. Generally speaking, this is not a popular policy. So Canada has a lot of cards to play in this trade war.
I mean, the two economies are quite well integrated, almost codependent, really, in many senses. How does this actually play out? Because you talk about Labor Day. I think some of these will now kick in on the 8th of September. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. So remember, Bongani, in many ways, Mark Carney, in his now famous speech at Davos, he telegraphed this. He says that the old order is dead. The days of the powerful states using economic integration as economic leverage to bully in trade negotiations to get what they want, those days are over. So you're right. Yes, Canada kind of started this thing a few years ago with about 75% of our exports going to the United States. But that's lowering. It's below 70%, I believe, now. And Carney, of course, his whole plan is that we're going to diversify and find new markets. So again, the United States is obviously infinitely more powerful economically and militarily than Canada in numbers terms. But what Trump doesn't realize is that U.S. soft power is absolutely collapsing because of the way they negotiate these deals. Whereas Canada, for example, is becoming something of a beacon. I mean, I heard someone yesterday say in a serious conversation that Mark Carney is now the leader of the free world. And so the idea that states that are not necessarily these huge juggernauts, but can hold their ground and with their principles, is really something that the world is looking to at the moment, where there doesn't seem to be any kind of natural leaders.
And soft power, of course, is one of those things that once lost in terms of your ability to have influence, it's really, really difficult to regain and certainly costly. So if, as you say, this does not have broad support with the American public, why is Trump doing this while still fighting wars in the Gulf? I mean, is this yet another bite he won't be able to chew?
Well, again, it's a tall task getting inside Donald Trump's head in terms of understanding what's going on. But remember, there is a very, very long record, as I said, of him tacoing, of him making threats which he doesn't follow up on. And so I don't necessarily think this is, the end of the story here. But what I think it does reflect, and this is an important point, is that kind of protectionism and these long-term trade relationships, this may be over. So we're not now looking at maybe some sort of passing phase, but as someone described it, we're really looking at a chronic disease now in terms of dealing with the United States on trade. And how do countries deal with this situation and realize that kind of the days of, shaking hands and signing an agreement, and we can think this is the way it's going to be for 10 years, these days are over. So we have to navigate this kind of new way of doing things with the United States.
Dr. Terence McNamee, Senior Fellow at Montreal's Institute for Global Security and an International Relations and Security Analyst.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
The ANC won't necessarily tell us who its mayoral candidates are, at least not one per municipality, but they have revealed or released their manifesto. To tell us more about it, up next, we are joined by their Deputy Secretary General, Nomvula Mokonyane.
This is EWN.
Kat Matlala is expected back on the Madlanga hot seats, and the ANC says it's not in a beauty contest as it delays announcing mayoral candidates. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Alleged crime kingpin Vusmuzi Kat Matlala is set to return to the Madlanga Commission today. Matlala's testimony was postponed last Monday to allow him to consult with his legal team. This as his testimony, initially scheduled for September, was brought forward at the 11th hour. Khomotso Modise has more.
When Vusmuzi Kat Matlala appeared before the Madlanga Commission last week, he had not filed his supplementary affidavit where he's expected to address questions by evidence leaders. This morning, Matlala will continue with his testimony addressing the outstanding questions. His advocate Annelien Panayeva.
Last count, and that was before we got a further email last night, the volume was far exceeding 2,000 pages. It's common course between us and the evidence leaders that we were only served with bundles yesterday afternoon.
Last week, Matlala read through his statement refusing to answer questions linked to matters before the courts, including his Medicare 24 Tshwane contract with the SAPS, for which he'll stand trial next month. However, Matlala conceded to meeting with apparent businessmen, including Suleiman Karim at the homestead of late taxi boss Jotham Msibi, who's been linked to the Big Five cartel. He's expected to expand on this theme this morning. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Activists and loved ones of slain whistleblower Babita Deokaran are still waiting for justice 5 years after her assassination. There was a commemoration outside her Johannesburg home yesterday where she was shot. 6 hitmen have been convicted and are serving jail time. However, the mastermind remains at large. Karinda Jagmohan reports.
Just after 8 a.m. yesterday, Babita Deokaran's family, flanked by anti-corruption activists, lit a candle, marking the moment she was shot dead 5 years ago after leaving her daughter at school. She had just lifted the lid on inflated payments to over 200 shell companies, amounting to the millions of rands, and she knew her life was in danger. While her family is desperate to know the orchestrators of her murder, Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia suggested the suspects are being protected.
Those people are in positions of power and in positions to be able to protect themselves.
Based on Deokaran's probe, the Special Investigating Unit uncovered tender fraud at the Tembisa Hospital worth over 2 billion rand, allegedly via procurement network linked to department officials and business directors. Karinda Jagmohan, Eyewitness News.
The ANC says there's no pressure to announce its mayoral candidates for key municipalities. An announcement for its metro candidates was expected over the weekend, but the party made an about turn and cancelled it. The party says it will only make the announcement in September, 2 months before the local government elections. Alfara Mushwana reports.
The party has finally unveiled its nominees for Johannesburg, which are incumbent Mayor Tata Murero, his deputy Loyiso Masuku, and Reverend Frank Chikane. ANC Gauteng convener Panyaza Lesufi says while the party will announce its mayoral candidates relatively late, it will not succumb to unnecessary pressure.
The ANC work as a collective. We are not in a beauty contest, one person elevate above other. You do that, you will have the challenges that we had with Herman Mashaba why Herman Mashaba didn't last? Because the DA felt that it was above the political party. They are committing the same mistake of trying to elevate somebody called Ellen Zille to be the other thing.
Lesufi believes the ANC remains the best party to lead Gauteng's municipalities. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And British Prime Minister Andy Burnham will visit Ukraine today as it marks the 35th anniversary of its independence. This will be his first international visit since taking office last month. Burnham has vowed to give strong support to Ukraine as it battles Russia's invasion. He's already announced that Britain has agreed that defence firm MBDA can release classified information on UK components for the long-range missile Scalp to establish local assembly lines in Ukraine. Gold is trading at $4,638.78 an ounce. The rand is at 16 rand exactly to the dollar, 21.83 to the pound, 18.69 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.05 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Mike 1 North between the Killarney Bends and Glenhove Road. That's due to a major accident between these 2 points. There's also queuing traffic reported in Spruitview along the N3 North between Leondale Road and Heidelberg Road.
And in your sport, Sundowns lose MTN8 semi-final first leg to Arrows, while their women's team make the COSAFA Champions League qualification knockouts. Liverpool and City salvage points later on in the Premier League season openers, while Brighton batter Villa. Lewis Hamilton upset over Ferrari's lack of team orders in the Netherlands, and there's a powerhouse doubles team given a wildcard entry into the US Open mixed doubles tournament.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 7 degrees, peaking at 25. Pretoria, 10 and 27. For the Inaging, 5 and 26. The top story in EWN this hour. Alleged crime kingpin Vusmuzi Kat Matlala is set to return to the Madlanga Commission today.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. You're listening to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX, technology that helps organizations move forward.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Seven minutes after 7 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast on this Monday, the 24th of August, the year of our Lord 2024. I was struck by something the acting police minister said yesterday at this memorial outside the home of Babita Deokaran, 5 years after her assassination. And perhaps it's something we all know, but it's difficult to swallow even when you think you know it, when you hear it from the police minister. And he essentially said the kind of thing for which she was killed as a whistleblower, revealing shenanigans at Tembisa Hospital, is prevalent almost in every public institution, in every department, across the country, in different municipalities. He used the word pervasive. How do we fix the idea that we're essentially a country that has become corrupt? That when it comes to the spending of public money, very few of us believe decisions aren't tainted to favor someone, to score something they should not. How do we change it? Can we change it? It's quite a thing to hear from the police minister. Quite a thing to hear.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
9 after 7. I don't know if you watched the rugby yesterday. 33-16 defeat to the All Blacks at Ellis Park. And of course, many people using the words disastrous, catastrophic. But I was intrigued to hear Rassie Erasmus saying, we've been down this road before. He was speaking at the post-match conference on Saturday inside the stadium. Erasmus says they now need to regroup, of course, after New Zealand took a 1-0 lead in the 4-match rugby's greatest rivalry series. He says essentially we must win the next 3 tests on the trot to be able to bounce back. Can we?
Rassie, how catastrophic is this loss? I mean, first, you wanted to make a statement in the first test.
We've been in many catastrophic situations in our life. We lost the first test against British Irish Lions. Everybody said that catastrophic. We lost the first pool game against New Zealand in the World Cup. Everybody says that catastrophic. So we've been in a lot of catastrophic situations in our lives. Obviously, we're now in a position, if we want to win a series, we have to win 3 games on a trot. So without a doubt, it puts them in a very good position, which they thoroughly deserve. And now we have to go to Cape Town and try and we win there, then it's all level.
And maybe just like fixing our corruption problem, hey, we can bounce back in the same way the Boks hopefully will bounce back against the All Blacks.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
What you need to know at this hour, Gauteng residents, businesses are being urged to reduce water consumption as rising demand puts pressure on the province's water systems. Reservoir and tower storage levels are declining, whilst pumping systems are operating at near full capacity. So we're encouraged to fix leaks, take shorter showers, use water-efficient appliances, and avoid hosing down driveways and pavements. Here's a question. How comfortable are you with your own body? Are you someone who has no problem changing or getting undressed around other people, say at the gym, for example? Changing around family members, maybe you're on holiday, using communal changing rooms, or being around friends in a situation where you or they might need to change. Well, it turns out naturism or naturism may be more about maybe more than just simply taking your clothes off. Research by naturists and experts at Regent University London say in the practice of non-sexual social nudity suggests it could help people feel more comfortable and confident in their own bodies. Psychologists and naturists say that being exposed to real, unfiltered bodies of different shapes, sizes, and ages can challenge unrealistic expectations about how we think our bodies are supposed to be. And South African DJ and record producer Mthokozi Sikhathi, known as DJ Tira, turns 50 years old today. The Afrotainment boss has been a major figure in the South African music and gom scene, a king of the Durban sound. Happy birthday, DJ Tira.
702. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
13 after 7. This EWN traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Roadworks on the N17 West. Amu?
Yes, Bongani, causing heavy delays in the Boksburg area between the R23 and the R21. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling in Actonville, we've got an accident reported along the R23 Rondabelt Road. It's causing heavy delays coming out of New Kleinfontein Road. Please be on the lookout there. And then heading towards Bedfordview, more delays on the N12 West. An accident reported up the Snake Road, also slowing down traffic. I'll have more updates. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. To save money, you cancel subscriptions before the free trial ends. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an Outsurance car insurance quote like 34-year-old Pretty, who saves
338 Rand. And I'm here to stay.
That's an awesome 338 Rand saving on Pretty's 2025 Kia Sonet. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance saves 48-year-old Adam an unbelievable 1,803 Rand on his 2020 Audi Q3.
1,803 Rand. Big drop. If you haven't had a valuation on your premiums for a while, it's worth going to Outsurance.
You also get 5 million Rand third-party liability cover, covering damage to the other person's vehicle in an accident. How much money could Outsurance save you? Get a quote now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online. 702.
The Big Interview.
With Bongani Bingwa.
A municipality can have sound budgets, skilled employees, and good plans. But if its political leadership is divided, is corrupt, is weak, or indifferent, the municipality will fail. Communities are entitled to have leaders who serve with integrity, who make sound decisions, who protect public resources, and who account for their performance. So public office must never be used for personal enrichment, political protection, and access to municipal contracts. So in the end, comrades, we are saying those who are going to be the leaders in our municipal system must be people of integrity.
And your mayoral candidates are? Not quite. The ANC, of course, had promised to reveal its final list of candidates vying for leadership ahead of this year's local government elections. Instead, the party yesterday released its election manifesto in Riverside outside Diepsloot in Johannesburg. A strategically chosen location, you might say. The party there pleading for one more chance from voters, promising to address service delivery, safety, better municipal finances, and even ethical leadership, as you've just heard there from President Cyril Ramaphosa. Nomvula Makunyane is the first Deputy Secretary General of the ANC and joins us to unpack all of that. Always a pleasure to chat to you. Thank you for your time this morning.
Morning, Bongani, and morning to your listeners. And thanks for inviting us.
I first interviewed you, I think, all the way in the days of Beckersdal. We must talk even when it's not elections, hey?
Yes, we should, eh? We should.
All right, let's start with this manifesto. Yet another list of promises. And I suppose the question, DSG, is why should voters believe you as the ANC this time?
Well, it is only the ANC that has had a consistent commitment to the National Development Plan, a 30-year plan, which is a vision for the Republic of South Africa. And in each and every term of elections, the ANC develops a manifesto, and our manifesto comes from a process where we interact with different sectors of society and communities to identify the priorities. And here for this election, the electorate, through our own consultative processes, agreed with us that we don't need a list of promises, but we must continue working together with them to get the basics working, to ensure that we become open and transparent about the municipality, that we work together to ensure that our local councillors and hands who have gone all out to different communities to be part of nominating councillor candidates for the NC, that they must then remain rooted amongst the communities. It's not the NC branches only that have since now nominated councillors. And the other issue, it's about getting local municipalities not only looking at provision of basic services, but contribute towards jobs and economic growth in their own areas by providing an enabling environment such as security, water, electricity, and most importantly, a municipal system that is able to ensure that it is user-friendly for the indigent, but also for those who have an interest to invest.
Let me try again, because I think all of those things, and I've gone through the manifesto and all its many pages, and there's a lot in there that I think even at a glance, many voters would agree with. And I think the quibble isn't so much what you say you will do. I'm asking you, why should voters believe that you will do what you say you will do?
Voters, many in our country, do believe that we can do what we have said we should do. We have been able to deal with some of the challenges that in the last term of local government were a big challenge, such as load reduction. We are dealing with water reticulation. What we have also been able to demonstrate is that where we have weak municipalities, we need to make sure that everybody participates, such as in the interventions of eThekwini, in the interventions here in Johannesburg, in the interventions in Matosane. You can see there's progress also in Mahikeng because of change of leadership, because of improved capacity, and most importantly, because of cooperation and collaboration, as we have seen with what Eskom and the city of Johannesburg thanks to the Minister of Finance, have been able to resolve, which has been a long, outstanding, strained relationship because of outstanding debts. Things are changing. You remember, Bongani, last year in September, we had a roll call of our ward councillors, and we gave them the marching orders, and there has been an improvement. The NC itself has now put together a monitoring and evaluation, as well as accountability process that has helped us to identify, make interventions, call for the necessary capacity to step in.
I guess one of the reason I'm asking all of this is one of the pleas that was made yesterday was for another chance. Now, you say many voters do believe you. I would put it to you that many have lost that belief in the ANC. You as a party have lost support. And so to get this second chance, can you accept that some of those losses have been because of the party's failures?
We are the first to accept that there were challenges, there were obstacles, there were failures in some instances that together with the communities we have identified, and hence these priorities that we have now identified. And why then do we also say there are many, with that very 40% of the last election's outcome, we have been able to do many of the issues that voters would have wanted the ANC to attend to, that we were not actually attending to. There was no indigent register in Johannesburg, for example, since the coming in of the DA. When the DA took over Johannesburg, when the DA took over Mogale City, when the DA took over Tshwane, we have since reinstated an indigent to protect and cover the vulnerable, to ensure that they have access to basic services. We had a challenge of blocked projects since the DA took over some of the municipalities. You'll remember there's been a plethora of mayors and the change of administration because of unstable coalitions. And hence we want to make sure that it is
all right,
regularized.
We, give or take, are just over 2 months and about 8 days before we go to the elections. How can we believe all of what you are saying when you won't even tell us who you think amongst your ranks should run a city like Johannesburg?
In the tradition of the African National Congress, the ANC normally announces mayors post the elections. We have made a commitment. We had seen communities, sectors, different organizations outside of the ANC making different people to be available to stand as mayors of the ANC or representatives of the ANC. We've gone through a vigorous process that includes vetting of individuals, interviews of individuals, verification of their organizational and people's culture. And what we presented, the people that we presented on Saturday are the ones now who must go through the last leg of being seen interacting with the people and being able to explain this manifesto. A hindsight on our side was to just announce people without them having a manifesto. We're now interacting with them today and tomorrow in a vigorous exercise on the interpretation of the manifesto. Believe in the ANC would be able to give us the best of what South Africans have proposed.
Gwede Mantashe, the ANC's national chair, gave an entirely different reason. He said to the SABC, the worry is if you announce one mayoral candidate per municipality, the ones that don't get the post will defect and go to other parties.
Bongani, I'm responding to you based on the work we have done in the elections, dealing with the messaging, dealing with the capacity and training of our messengers. What Mantashe has said is not a view of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. He might have...
With respect,
no.
though, he's. I mean, I can't think he's about as senior an ANC leader as one can imagine. When he says something like that, we can't ignore it.
But you will remember when the Secretary General spoke about this, he actually emphasized in a media briefing a few weeks ago that we're going to take our candidates through an exercise of understanding the manifesto. This is now going to be happening today and tomorrow. Many of those candidates are going to be announced before the elections, and others maybe, like in Limpopo, we have not had any other nominations except and interviews, vetting, as well as verification, except Peter Mukaba, that we have been able as officials to deal with. We are now receiving the reports that are coming from the NEC teams that have crisscrossed the country, verifying and interviewing.
That's the official explanation, but we do know there was an expectation for some of these names to be announced even this weekend. I think at 9 o'clock there was meant to be an announcement on Saturday, then it was moved to 11, and then it wasn't happening because speculation is that there are deep divisions behind the scenes. And in the meantime, you've almost ceded the campaigning to opposition parties who have been running campaigns, some of them, as early as last year. I mean, ultimately, if you worry that people will leave you, they're not your true members, are they? I mean, surely then their blood is not green, black, and gold.
We are not conceding to what you are trying to say. We are concerned about the message and the understanding of an area based on the manifesto that the candidate should actually be involved in. You know, it's in the tradition of the NC that the face of the campaign remains the president. Hence, from next week, you will see the work that will be happening in the different metros when there will be localized metros and the messengers that would actually carry that manifesto.
How worried are you about MKP?
Look, we are worried about voter turnout. We are worried about voter turnout because even with the last elections, the majority of South African voters didn't turn out to vote. The majority of South African voters stayed at home, didn't choose. And that's why our focus was to understand the reasons behind staying away. Because Bongani, if those that stayed away from elections were counted as a party, that is the party that has won. Every party goes to elections to contest. We are contesting with MKP as we are contesting with Al Jama, the DA, IFP, and anyone.
But none of them are a problem of your own making except for MKP. I mean, at a personal... Hold on. Let me explain what I mean. Let me finish my question. At a personal level, as seasoned a politician as you are, do you regret supporting Jacob Zuma, which has led to this mess?
I have always remained loyal to the ANC and respecting and supporting leaders of the ANC. I supported Jacob Zuma as I supported Nelson Mandela, as I supported Thabo Mbeki, as I support Cyril Ramaphosa today.
Was that support misplaced in Jacob Zuma's case because it's led to this?
He was elected by ANC members. He was not actually imposed onto the ANC. It's regrettable that today he has decided to define himself outside.
Yeah, that's why I said
of the organization.
That's why I said at a personal level, do you as Nomvula Mokonyane go, yo? You ever have that moment when you think of what this man has become?
Can I tell you, I even go to an extent of asking Comrade President Thabo Mbeki to say, but this was your brother. We are young. We were made to believe that this is the man who is just like you and everybody, a trusted member. What went wrong? This is a different Jacob Zuma, and I'm not here to come now and canvass for Jacob Zuma or speak ill of him. Bongani, to start with, but he's a person that I really feel that he has not been true to what he taught many of us in the ANC.
That's a nice soul, hey?
Well, we
Maybe-
blame the ANC.
Maybe let's leave it there. Appreciate your time this morning. Nomvula Mokonyane is the ANC's first Deputy Secretary General. Will you give them a second chance? I'd love to hear from ANC voters who perhaps were thinking of moving on. Has that convinced you? Let us know.
EWN Business.
Teo Kharipe, you want to go back on these US-Canada trade talks? They've turned sour, haven't they?
Yeah, President Donald Trump has accused Canada of wanting the benefits of a U.S. state as the two countries failed to reach a trade deal this weekend. The relationship between the U.S. and Canada took a turn for the worse over the past weekend as U.S. tariffs impacted roughly $20 billion worth of Canadian imports. This will include wine, furniture, dairy products, cement, clothing, fishing rods, hockey equipment. The U.S. on Saturday levying 50% tariffs on some Canadian goods after trade talks between the neighboring countries collapsed, with both governments blaming the other for not reaching a deal. Now, last year, U.S. wine and spirits exports are dropped from $718 million down to $137 million over a yearly tracking period. This after the U.S. placed tariffs on Canada retaliating by removing U.S. alcohol from their shops.
All right, where's the rand?
Well, the rand is still quite positive this morning. Exactly 16 rand against the US dollar in the green this morning. 18 rand 68 against the euro and 21 rand 83 cents against the British pound. Price of gold up more than 0.5% at $4,641 an ounce. Or platinum is also in the green at $1,896. Brent crude now at $93 a barrel. More business after 8.
Straight to the news desk now. Sfisa Zulu. I mean, boxing is a huge deal in the Eastern Cape. This news about Zolani Tete, just heartbreaking. What's the latest?
Well, Bongani, good morning. Thank you. Police in the Eastern Cape have arrested 2 more suspects in connection with the murder of the boxing legend, Zolani Tete. This brings to 4 the number of people who've been caught for the attack. Tete was shot on Friday as he entered the driveway of his home in Danzane. A 27-year-old woman who was traveling with him was wounded and remains in hospital. Koskona Malingamnisi reports.
Police rounded up 2 people in Kukompo City on Saturday, followed by another 3 yesterday, 1 in Mdantsane and 2 in Scenery Park. However, one of the 2 people apprehended on Saturday has since been released, bringing the number of suspects currently in custody to 4. A 22-year-old man arrested on the same day has now been formally charged with murder and attempted murder. Police say there were insufficient grounds to keep the 30-year-old male released in custody, adding that he remains a potential witness as investigators continue to establish exactly what happened in the final moments of Dede's life. Eastern Cape Police spokesperson Nobuntu Kan.
The SAPS commends the investigating team for their diligence and appeals to anyone with credible information to come forward.
Police say all information will be treated confidentially. See Kwana Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News in the Eastern Cape.
Infrastructure maintenance and development remains at the top of the ANC's commitment list ahead of the local government elections. Speaking at the ANC's election manifesto launch near Diepsloot yesterday, party president Cyril Ramaphosa outlined the party's pledges for the next 5 years. While he acknowledges the ANC has faced hurdles since the dawn of democracy, he says the ANC has done well in improving critical infrastructure since 1994.
What we've been experiencing thus far is that our various spheres of government have been working alone in isolation. Going forward, comrades, we are now going to work together to resolve even problems such as these. Over the next 5 years, the ANC-led municipalities will prioritize the maintenance and renewal of infrastructure.
The Western Cape Mobility Department says it's in discussions with taxi bosses after the latest flare-up of violence in Cape Town. 4 men were shot dead and 2 others wounded in 2 separate shootings last week. The South African National Taxi Council says the motive for the attacks is yet to be determined. Carlo Peterson has more.
Western Cape Mobility Department spokesperson Munira
Ali says transport officials are deeply concerned about recent incidents of taxi-related violence. The recent flare-up comes just 3 weeks after the department and the city of Cape Town mediated with 4 taxi associations to end a deadly dispute related to taxi routes in the southern suburbs. Ali says officials are now consulting to find a new solution.
We are actively engaging with our stakeholders on a range of measures to help address the situation and restore stability.
Santaco says its mediators are trying to foster peace talks between the rivaling taxi associations. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And the military in Guinea has joined a search for people trapped under a mound of rubbish where at least 30 people died. The major waste site collapsed near people's homes in Guinea's capital, Conakry, following heavy rain overnight. 22 people have been injured. A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees.
And in the traffic in Kempton Park, we've got delays on the R21 South. That's between the R25 and Atlas Road. An accident reported there. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North between Bears Nodia Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive.
The top story this hour. Police in the Eastern Cape have arrested 2 more suspects in connection with the murder of boxing legend Zolani Tete.
Uncertainty is rising, but your business still has to deliver. Production targets need to be met. And when your workforce is out of balance, the cost is immediate. Too many employees? Costs climb. Too few? Productivity drops. Workforce staffing helps businesses stay in control with flexible workforce solutions, deployed within 48 hours nationwide. When demand changes, your workforce can change with it. Visit workforcestaffing.co.za. Stay productive, stay flexible, stay in control.
This advert is paid for by the political party concerned.
I love my hometown, but for too long now, I look around and think we deserve better than this. The water goes off for days, the streets are falling apart, and things never get fixed. Look, I'm not asking for anything fancy. I just want basics to work. And I know they can work because I've seen it where the Democratic Alliance is in charge. I want our town to work for all. So in this election, I'm voting DA.
This advert was paid for by the political party concerned.
Need a last-minute gift? Checker 6060 will bring the toy aisle to you. Hot Wheels bands and Lego trends. Let's go 6060. Marvel minis and other figurines. Let's go 6060. All the Barbies and the plushies. Let's go 6060. Fisher Price and all things nice. Let's go 6060. Whatever they love, whatever their age, Checker 6060 will deliver today. Let's go 6060.
702's Small Business Focus, powered by Capitec, shines a spotlight on the drive, passion, and dedication behind every successful small business.
And no surprise, actually, that confidence across most of the indicators have decreased fairly materially, and that is whether business owners are confident in their own ability to grow their business, confidence in the South African economy to grow their business and make it conducive for them to grow, confidence in access to finance, confidence in whether customers are going to pay them on time, all have dropped a few percentage points, both in comparison to the last quarter as well as the same time last year. And why I say no surprise, it's because you just have to look at what's happening in and around the world.
Every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. Catch the Small Business Focus on 702 and bank on better business banking with Capitec. Capitec is an authorized FSP 46669.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa is brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted telecom business connectivity. Powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
Morning, Bongs. This is Louis from Towers. Bongs, the ANC now, I know, is no longer just a problem, it's a mental problem. Yo, Lo Mama is so far from reality. Like, can she hear what she's saying, though? Or she's just reading a script? Did you send the questions first before you called her, or what?
Morning, Bongani. The ANC is the only one committed to the NDP. But if I'm not mistaken, from what I heard, they missed basically every target on that. So there's no point in being committed to a plan that you're not going to execute on. It's actually worse than someone who's not committing to it, in my opinion. And secondly, I'm not a fan of the DA particularly. I'm not a fan of any particular political party at this moment, but you can't say, oh, they haven't done this. And we did it when we came in. Why was it not done for the 20 years before that? Honestly, it's just grandstanding and it's ridiculous.
Who destroyed the infrastructure? Isn't it the ANC? And after destroying, they believe they can fix it. No. We gave them too much chance, these people. They must just move on. Let's get somebody to lead us. Thank you.
Mr. Bonks. Yeah, no. ANC. Hey. They seem to have the script to these elections thing. They know what they're doing.
Good morning, Bongani. No second chance. They've misused the opportunity. They've been bullying us. They've been arrogant. They must just go. And they know that they are going. That's my deal.
Hi, good morning, Bonks and the team. Listen, for the past 3 decades, I've been voting the ANC, but I think this time around, I'm going to dump them. They belong to the dustbin of history when it comes to me voting for them again. They've showed over and over again that they cannot be trusted. You look at the state of our towns, our cities, it's horrible under the guide and the governance of ANC. I remember one guy said they have left governance in exile. Yeah, no, I'm done with them.
I want to know from people, I want to hear from people who are not done with them. The people who say, yep, I'll still give them another chance. I'm convinced by what she was saying. I'm convinced by what the president of the ANC said yesterday. It was great to see them in Deep Sloot, and it made strategic sense to have their manifesto launch there, and it still makes sense to vote for them. I'm really curious to hear from those people.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Prudence in Mamelodi. Prudence, please give us today's answer.
Hi, Bongani. The answer from today is 50.
Ooh, and tell me, Prudence, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I have.
I've got a lot more than 50 Rand for you, I can tell you. Prudence, you walk away with 1,000 Rand. All thanks to Outsurance and 702. The answer is 50, says Prudence. What is the question? Call us on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
Anthony Teixeira in here for the world of sport. And, of course, it was the SA Sports Awards at Sun City. Glittering ceremony.
Yeah, it was indeed.
People in their best frocks.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Let's talk about the big winner of the evening. Akani Simbini was named SA Sports Star of the Year at the awards in Sun City. Sportswoman of the Year went to a former 800-meter indoor world champ, Bruin Segodiso, while in the men's category, it went to Commonwealth Games, a 50, 100 and 200-meter backstroke gold medalist, Peter Kutsia. The Proteas were also announced as the team of the year after they picked up the ICC Test Championship in 2025. Golden Arrows already orchestrated the exit of Kaizer Chiefs from the MTN 8, and they followed that up by going to Mamelodi Sundowns Fortress, the Lucas Moripa Stadium, and claiming a semi-final first leg 1-0 victory. Downs coach Miguel Cardozo saying that there's still time in that second leg to turn things around and make a first final in 3 years.
The team was committed and fought until the end, and that is the character that we need to have. So what we need now is to understand that that character will speak for us in the next match. At halftime we are losing, is go on the second half and play to win and not make the same mistakes, because if we continue to make mistakes that we detect, that we show, we speak, we correct, we make them understand, and we continue to do, of course.
Sundowns women far more effective against Malawi's Silver Strikers. They pulled off a 3-0 win in their Group B COSAFA Champions League qualifying group, While the Premier League had Brighton atop of the table after a 4-0 victory over 10-man Aston Villa Sunday. Also, Man City started life without Pep Guardiola, coming from a goal down to beat Bournemouth 2-1. And Newcastle let it slip in 9 minutes into stoppage time as they drew 2-2 with Liverpool. Red boss Andoni Iraola speaking on why Szoboszlai is the penalty taker.
I think we have not even only Dom and Alexander. I think we have more very good specialists. I think Dom showed the level. It's a almost impossible penalty to stop, no? And I was happy, obviously, because at the end we recovered 1 point.
In F1, Kimi Antonelli stretched out his Drivers' Championship lead to 59 points as he finished second in the Netherlands, Lando Norris converting his pole to the race victory. While in cycling, Matt Brennan won a first Grand Tour stage in only his second ever start as he sprinted to the Volta, banging a second round win. Race leader remains Tadej Pogacar. He's just 9 seconds clear of Wout van Aert. And in golf, Scott Jamieson won a first DP world title in nearly 14 years as he shot a final round 5 under par 67 at the Nexo Championship. South Africa's Sean Norris had his title charge halted while he was co-leading after he hit a 2-shot penalty for kicking a replaced divot from under his feet on the 5th hole of that final round. And Wyndham Clark won the BMW Championship. 3 shots was his victory. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
14 minutes to 8. Let's catch up with the roads. Amo, you were telling us about issues in Pretoria.
Yeah, that's correct, Bongani. We've got delays on the N1 South. So that's an accident reported right near Brakfontein Road. It's causing delays coming out of the Brakfontein interchange. About a 20-minute hold up there. Then if you are heading towards Linwood via the N1 South, you expect delays approaching Linwood Road. That's due to roadworks that are taking place right after the Proof Plus interchange, and leaving Mountain View. Do expect delays, particularly if you're heading towards the CBD on the R80 between the Happy Bend and Eskempahlele Drive. Then if you are traveling on the N3 North, we still have got hectic delays between the Geldenes interchange and the Glulis interchange. There's also queuing traffic reported on the M1 North. That accident is still there right near Glenholm Road. It's causing delays coming out of the Kilani Bends. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra presents an unforgettable night of musical brilliance as Daniel Boycott takes the podium to lead a breathtaking program of classical masterpieces. Opening with Rossini's sparkling Barber of Seville overture, the program includes Mozart's famous double piano concerto and culminates with Mozart's magnificent Symphony No. 39. Thursday, 27 August at the Linda Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available at Quicket.
Do you ever call you like to sell? But don't trust your uncle or your pal. Then we buy cars, it's just for you. Buying cars is what we do. We offer service with a smile. We always go the extra mile. Use a place that you trust and sell your car to us.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
Are you an investor who likes easy access to your money, or do you prefer locking it away?
Absolutely, to both.
ABSA has an account for you. Earn up to 7.5% with ABSA Cash Invest Tracker and get immediate access to your money, or earn up to 7.7% with a 12-month dynamic fixed deposit account. Invest on the ABSA app. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Minimum investment required. Rates as of July 2026.
You made your mark on Election Day. But what happens after the votes are counted? This week, catch the Clement Manyathela Show in conversation with the South African Local Government Association on 702. Tune in as we unpack how local democracy works, what you can expect from your ward councillor, and how every resident can play a meaningful role in shaping their community. Democracy lives here. Make your voice count beyond the ballot box. The Clement Manyathela Show in conversation with Salga, inspiring service delivery. This week on 702.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Artsurance, please tell me what's the question if the answer is 50. Let's go to, is it Mulalo? Mulalo?
Yes.
What's the question?
The question is, how old is the famous DJ Tira turning today?
Yes, indeed. One of the kings of Gom, DJ, record producer Mtokozisi Kati. You know him as DJ Tira. He's turning 50 today. Mulala, congratulations. 2,000 Rand is coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance.
Thank you.
And 702.
save money, you delay the upgrade on your cell phone. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an Outsurance car insurance quote like 54-year-old Yaku who saves
282 Rand. Outsurance is the green saving machine. If you want the best, you go to Outsurance.
That's a fantastic 282 Rand saving on Yaku's 2025 Suzuki Swift. Make the move. SMS out to 45142. Outsurance saves 58-year-old Loretta an awesome 479 Rand on her 2017 BMW 320.
Saving quite a lot. 479 Rand per month. If you look at our economy, everything has become so expensive. Outsurance is giving me now a lifeline.
Always getting something out. And after 3 consecutive claim-free years, you get an out bonus. How much money could Outsurance save you? Get a quote now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online.
Every day, something shifts. A rate decision, a currency move, a headline that changes everything until tomorrow's does. Change is constant, and for us, that's not a problem to manage. It's where opportunity lives. For 35 years, we've navigated it to seek out the best opportunities for you, wherever they may be. Change is opportunity. We're always ready to invest in it. 91, investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
Elevate your flying experience with Lift Premium. Enjoy even more space, comfort, and convenience with priority boarding, extra baggage allowance, and complimentary lounge access. Visit lift.co.za today.
Cutting costs means more money for your business. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's Marshall from Bow Electrical.
I was with my other insurance for many years and then I switched to Outsurance Business Insurance. It was a one quick call. They gave me a great cover and a great price. Give them a call. You have nothing to lose. I wish I have switched sooner.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
And now for the world of viral content. Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bert.
Oh gosh, I'm beginning to wonder, is this the future of sport? Tell me about the World Humanoid Games.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a video last week, I think it was Friday, of a humanoid running, and it was running so fast, sprinting so fast, and then eventually they can't stop themselves. And so they run into this, they crash into this big cushion, and then sparks fly, and I thought, this must be AI. But it's actually the World Humanoid Games, which takes place in China over 5 days. And, I mean, there's obviously lots of sports that take place, field events, ball sports like soccer, table tennis, combat sports, performance and art. And then there's also practical scenario-based tasks, so service industry. So they'll simulate household tasks, hotel tasks, restaurant tasks, medical stuff, all this kind of thing. It's quite fascinating. But would I go and watch it? I don't think so, unless I wanted a good laugh, because it is funny when they crash because they can't stop themselves. But the 100-meter record was broken by one of these humanoids. So Usain Bolt has the record of 9 seconds and 9:58 is his world record set in 2009. And this humanoid, which doesn't have a name, doesn't have a personality, was 9:39 seconds. So very, very fast.
This is for the 100 meters, to be clear.
This is for the 100-meter sprints, yes.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, indeed.
The high jump record was also broken, by the way. But, like you said, I don't know if people will latch onto this and think this is a great thing to watch and to participate, because what attracts you to sport? It's the emotions, it's the drama of human interaction and all that kind of good stuff, the feel good stuff. Whereas you got these humanoids, it's just robots and metal and chips and electronics that are doing their thing, right? But if you had to, and I mean this will probably come in the future, what do you think you could use a humanoid for in your life? Could it make certain things easy, or like certain tasks that you hate doing, you could get a humanoid to do? Because I was quite fascinated with the other stuff, not so much the sports, but the service industry, the medical and the emergency response tasks that they had to do. So think about it. What do you think you could use a humanoid for in your life that would make certain situations easier, or that you just had to say, I don't have to do that anymore, let the humanoid do it?
All right, these robots, these human-like robots, what would you get them to do? What task would you want to get rid of? You'd probably be too embarrassed to ask another human to do it, but a robot, absolutely, any day. What would that be for you? Yeah?
The pick it up bin on a Monday. They're coming just now. I cannot stand taking out that bin because it's, you've got to touch the handle.
Washing it afterwards. That's
and
for
it's
me.
the washing and all that stuff. Yeah, so... Yeah.
All right,
can you get a humanoid to do that? Just
wash your dustbins. All right, let us know on 072 702 1702. That's what's gone viral with Kabazela.
702.
702. Feedback.
With Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda Matiso,
Hello.
what would you want a humanoid to do?
Maybe to spring clean the way that I want my house to be cleaned.
I was thinking you're going to say something like braids or something, right?
Yeah, actually, that's another good one. Yeah.
They have the nimble fingers.
Yeah, like on a certain time that I want to done. But I don't trust robots that much for it to do the great job.
They'll get better at it. That's the point.
Maybe.
They'll get better at it. And I mean, I would probably posit that in the next 30, 40 years, we'll have things that almost look like us doing these things. I mean, that's how good they'll become.
I can see
what other feedback do you have?
Listen, you asked a question, on what basis do you give second chances? And that's based on the ANC. It had its manifesto this weekend. And many are saying, listen, they are willing to give a person a second chance, but it depends on your action. You need to show me that you have changed. While others are saying no. A person by the name of Benedict, by the way listener said, it's like reading a book and the same book and expecting a different ending. And I was like, actually, that is a good point.
So reading the same book over and over and thinking
it might
this time it might end differently.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
but also people reacting on the ANC, they're saying, listen, we have given you many chances and now it's time to try for a different party, while others are saying, I am devoted and I will always be an ANC follower.
All right, we'll try and find some of those voice notes and play them for you. Your reactions to my conversation with Nomvula Mokunyane, who is, of course, the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC. And I really, really wondered at a personal level how much she regretted supporting Jacob Zuma, because part of their issue, part of their difficulty is the emergence of Mkhonto weSizwe as a party. And whether you like them or not, and you can call them the spaza shop as I have, you can't dismiss them. You can't dismiss them. Jacob Zuma is so confident now, he's campaigning in the Eastern Cape. Like he knows KZN, eThekwini is sealed. Interesting times. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Public officials are being warned not to get on the wrong side of the law, and a new inquest into the death of Steve Biko is set to start. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Gauteng police are warning public officials involved in crime that they will be arrested. This alert comes ahead of the court appearance of 7 employees from the Mfuleni local municipality who are facing charges of fraud, theft and tampering of essential infrastructure. They were arrested over the weekend by the Gauteng Political Killings Task Team. The suspects are accused of being part of a scheme where they allegedly instructed residents whose electricity supply had been disconnected to pay money into private bank accounts for restoration. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate.
The Gauteng PKTT will continue to work with relevant stakeholders to ensure that those who abuse their positions for personal financial gain are held accountable.
Alleged crime kingpin Vusmuzi Kat Matlala is set to return to the Malanga Commission today. Matlala's testimony was postponed last Monday to allow him time to consult with his legal team. This as his testimony initially scheduled for September was brought forward at the 11th hour. Khomoso Modise has more.
When Vusmuzi Kat Matlala appeared before the Malanga Commission last week, he had not filed his supplementary affidavit where he's expected to address questions by evidence leaders. This morning, Matlala will continue with his testimony addressing the outstanding questions. His advocate Anneline Panayeva.
Last count, and that was before we got a further email last night, the volume was far exceeding 2,000 pages. It's common cause between us and the evidence leaders that we were only served with bundles yesterday afternoon.
Last week, Matlala read through his statement refusing to answer questions linked to matters before the courts, including his Medicare 24 Tshwane contract with the SAPS, for which he'll stand trial next month. However, Matlala conceded to meeting with apparent businessmen, including Suleiman Karim at the homestead of late taxi boss Jotham Msibi, who's been linked to the Big Five cartel. He's expected to expand on this theme this morning. Khomoso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Activists and loved ones of slain whistleblower Babita Deokaran are still waiting for justice 5 years after her assassination. There was a commemoration outside her Johannesburg home yesterday where she was shot. 6 hitmen have been convicted and are serving jail time. However, the mastermind remains at large. Karinda Jagmohan reports.
Just after 8 a.m. yesterday, Babita Deokaran's family, flanked by anti-corruption activists, lit a candle, marking the moment she was shot dead 5 years ago after leaving her daughter at school. She had just lifted the lid on inflated payments to over 200 shell companies, amounting to the millions of rands, and she knew her life was in danger. While her family is desperate to know the orchestrators of her murder, Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia suggested the suspects are being protected.
Those people are in positions of power. They're in positions to be able to protect themselves.
Based on Deokaran's probe, the Special Investigating Unit uncovered tender fraud at the Tembisa Hospital worth over 2 billion rand, allegedly via procurement network linked to department officials and business directors. Karinda Jagmohan, Eyewitness News.
And the long-awaited reopened inquest into the death of anti-apartheid activist Steve Biko is set to get underway in the Gqeberha High Court this morning. The inquest was reopened last September, nearly 5 decades after Biko died in apartheid police custody. But proceedings have already been delayed several times over issues including legal funding for 2 former police officers identified as persons of interest. Koskona Malingamnisi reports.
Steve Biko, a founder of the Black Consciousness Movement, was arrested at a roadblock near Grahamstown, now Makhanda, in August 1977. He was later seriously injured in police custody and died on the 12th of September that year, aged 30, after suffering severe brain injuries and kidney failure. A 1977 inquest accepted the police version that Biko had been injured in a scuffle. As a result, no one was prosecuted, a finding widely condemned as a cover-up. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission later heard amnesty applications from former special branch officers linked to Biko's death, but none were granted amnesty for his killing. The reopened inquest will examine whether any act or omission by any person could have amounted to a criminal offense. It could finally provide long-awaited answers to Biko's family and to South Africa. Or see Kona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News in Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape.
Gold is trading at $4,633.84 an ounce. The rand is at 16.01 to the dollar, 21.83 to the pound, 18.69 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $93.12 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in Kempton Park. It's along the R21 South. It happened near Atlas Road. Delays from the R25. There's also queuing traffic along Modderfontein Road in the Modderfontein area. This is due to another accident causing heavy delays coming out of Mooi River Drive.
And in your sports, South African athletes celebrated at the SA Sports Awards. We have MTN 8 semi-final first leg results to look over. While Man City and Liverpool picked up points late on in their Premier League openers. And South Africa's Sean Norris had his title chances halted as he was given a 2-shot penalty at the Nexo Championship.
A fine day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees today. The top story in EWN this hour. Gauteng police are warning public officials involved in crime that they will be arrested.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Your community, your concerns, your voice. Follow every moment of the local government elections on 702 Cape Talk and ewn.co.za.
This is 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted connectivity, powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
You're listening to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa. Isn't that what that guy said? Bongani Bingwa. Gauteng police warning people. Public officials involved in crime will be arrested. This relating to Mfuleni local municipality, something that no doubt happens all around. Your services are disconnected and the technicians say for the low price, they can hook you back up. Of course, what happens to you thereafter is none of their business. But they say they can do this, and people fall for it, and 7 are now facing serious charges of fraud, theft, and tampering with essential infrastructure in Mfuleni. The ANC wants another chance, one more. In life, generally, what does it take for you to give someone a second chance? Is it the hope that they will change, or must they demonstrably show you they have or can? And has the ANC done that politically? Would you hold them to the same standard you would hold your relatives or friends who have asked for a second chance? Or in this case, 32 years later, second, 4th, 50th, 500th chance? Where are you?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Kabazela wants to know those tasks that you don't want to do. If there was a humanoid robot, right, that could do it for you, these machines, they're made to resemble the body of a human being. They still look like robots for now, but who knows when they look like us and they're made to almost be indistinguishable from us. But in the meantime, they typically have a torso, 2 arms and 2 legs, but they look like a robot. What tasks would you want them to do in your home, in your office, in your place of work? Amu?
At home, I think
Can they make the bed?
No. Those are okay. Those are okay.
Making the bed.
But can they watch my kids while they swim? Because sometimes you just don't want to be sitting there by the swimming pool for an hour watching your kids swim and swim and swim and you're not swimming. And also...
Swim with the kids. Dad, can we go play in the jungle gym?
Then you have to
I
go with them
remember
and
that.
watch.
But now, I wish I could go play with her on the jungle gym. I do. Muteo?
For me, it would be to take the trash out.
You're the second one. Kabazela said the same
I
thing.
would say that because sometimes you forget, you're late, you rush out, and then you've missed the day and you're in trouble. So
And then you must sleep on the couch. Eh? We're asking about second chances. Molly, you are in Daverton. Will you give the ANC another chance? Good morning.
Baby, morning, Madali. I'm 74, baby.
Oh.
74 and think about 74. How I know plenty dirty bad things about NC. I won't play with NC again. I won't even vote for ANC. I'm in a shake right now because of an ANC. Yeah. I don't want to hear a thing. That woman was dreaming. When you are asking a question, it doesn't answer the question. You make a long statement. Let them go to sleep, baby. I'm done with them.
Osmoli, how have they let you down?
Baby, I had my parents' house. They took it. They said I'm adopted, not married. They gave me a marriage surname. They said I'm born in that his surname. While they took everything, even the house, I can't even enter my mother's house, my parents' house. It's given it to somebody else. They don't want even the cops. They don't want to work with it because there's somebody. Hi.
I see. So in your case,
in a shake right now. I'm talking you. I'm in a shake.
Oh,
because of ANC, and they're proud. They told me straight in the face that they are helping ANC people.
Gosh, I think a lot of people, maybe not the same details as your story, but a lot of people will say this is a party that has let them down. I'd love to know from you if you are somebody who says you are still willing to give them a chance.
Morning, Bongani and team. You asked, are you prepared to give the ANC a second chance? I'm sorry, how many chances have they had over the last 32 years? Second chance? Anyway, this is Nikki.
Morning, Bongani. Charlotte in Rodeport. You know, I was driving on Vetkopen yesterday with my 17-year-old son. The robots were not working. There's potholes everywhere. We came across Joburg water people fixing, and water was flooding on the road. And my son made a comment and said, Mama, there is nothing working in Johannesburg. There's water issues. The roads have potholes. The roads are not working. There is nothing working. And I looked at him and said, Nana, you are correct. There is nothing working in the city of Joburg. In this municipality, they are failing to manage this municipality. They don't even have a mayoral candidate. They are scratching amongst themselves right now. This is where ANC has come to. I've been voting for ANC for my life, and I'm starting to wonder, are they pushing me to another direction now? Will I be doing justice to my children, giving them my vote again?
Morning, Bongani and team. The ANC is always full of promises and they never deliver. to date, we're still waiting for the smart city that they promised us decades and decades ago. So we do have an issue of empty promises from the ANC, and it's frustrating. Cheers, have a nice one.
Good morning, 702 listeners. Bongani Lalela. Ish. The biggest issue that the ANC has to deal with is the fact that they are a letdown. They have let us down. And the reason they don't want to tell us who the candidates are is so that they can choose their favorite candidates so that they can push their internal agenda forward. Put the names out so that we can see who we're voting for. So we can know who's going to be running our seat, and we don't like it, we just don't vote for you. Why is it that we must wait up until you see which city you win, and then you say, yeah, no, Utaba will go there, or Mavis will go there? No, tell us if Mavis goes there, then Mavis goes there. If the city that you guys have allocated to Mavis you guys don't win it, Mavis has no job. Let it be. Why are they so scared? It's because they're being scandalous. Tanulo here in Foslowers.
Morning, Bongani and 702 listeners. It's so interesting to hear what people say about ANC. They want it to go, but they don't say who they want in when the ANC is finally gone. They don't say. I wonder what's happening there. It sounds like people are not sure who they want, who is going to be the right person for this. So I just wonder who do they vote for next?
Well, maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe that is part of the problem. And so therefore you have to ask yourself, how much damage has the party done to itself? That even as some claim they want to leave it or consider other alternatives, they can't name them. So it's not so much a vote for someone else as much as it's a vote against the party that has been so dominant for so long. At the weekend, it was expected the party would announce its mayoral candidates for municipalities and certainly for the major metros. They can't. Gwede Mandashe said to the SABC they're worried that out of, say, the three candidates for Johannesburg, for example, which include the incumbent, Mayor Dada Morero, and the person who beat him in the ANC's regional elections, who's now the regional leader in Johannesburg and the newly created occupant of the deputy mayorship position, Loisa Masuku. And then they've brought out the veteran, Frank Chikane. And does it work that they say traditionally the ANC president has always been the face of the campaign? Cyril Ramaphosa is not going to be making sure your roads are maintained. Yeah, I suppose at a distance, at arm's length, he'll care about those things, particularly because he's got property in the city. But he's not going to be the one making sure that your refuse is collected. He's not going to be the one making sure the potholes are closed. So does that even compute when there have been clear candidates for months now? For months now. We've got 2 months, 8 days, give or take. And they can't tell us who their best people are? Yeah.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Good morning, Brabongza. It's Obed here, all the way from Kwamhlanga. I would send a humanoid to work, man. Most definitely. I will send my humanoid to go to work for me to do this 12 hours. Great show. Thanks, Chair.
Good morning. For me, it'll definitely have to be washing the dishes. I know that there's a dishwasher, but, you have to load up the dishes yourself and sometimes make sure that the kind of dirt that is on the dish is to a certain level and doesn't exceed a certain level, because that might create problems for the machine. Whereas that's technically just washing at some point you're just washing the dishes. Maybe halfway through you've already washed the dishes, so you might as well just finish. So I'm talking about a robot that's gonna literally, I'm gonna tell it, I'm gonna be like, bro, look at that, you can see all that is dirty, bro, do your job, do what you need to do.
Hey, Bongani, Namani Akanyesesa here. I would want a humanoid to wake up in the morning and go to work for me. And I just stay at home, and it goes to work, gives me reports, tells me, attends meetings, signs emails. I want a humanoid to do all of that, and I'm the one who receives the paycheck. Thank you, sir.
Morning, Bongani. Technology is meant to enhance the human experience, not necessarily to actually end up being a threat to actually human existence. Why would I want to be in a taxi that doesn't have a driver? Why don't I want to actually contribute to somebody else's livelihood? We're meant to coexist on this planet, not to compete with robots, for Pete's sake. Thank you. This is Kechi from Mikuruleni.
I got a WhatsApp voice, not a WhatsApp message. Let's call him a friend, right? Certainly a friend of the show. He says, I was driving to work today with my 10-year-old son, whom I drop off at school. As usual, I was turned in on your show, and you were interviewing Nomvula Mokonyan about why voters should give the ANC another chance in the upcoming elections. As we drive past a traffic light that isn't working, my son says to me, Dad, how can the ANC want a second chance when they can't even fix the robots? And then he says there was silence in the car.
EWN Traffic.
20 after 8, the CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. You were telling us about delays in Pretoria earlier. Amo, have those been resolved?
Not really, Bongani. If you're heading towards Linwood, we still have got delays on the N1 South between the Proof Plus interchange and Linwood Road. Roadworks are causing these delays. There's also slow-moving traffic along the R80 East Mabopane Highway. This is just as you approach the SKM Pahlele Drive accident. Then if you are traveling in Kempton Park, we still have got that accident on the R21 South that happened right near Atlas Road, causing delays from the R25. I'll have more updates. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance Pointsman can't help with your teenager's mood swings. Not even a humanoid could help you with those, hey? But they can get the traffic flowing smoothly, so you get to the school with enough time for a proper goodbye. The Outsurance Pointsman, real heroes in green and purple, easing traffic congestion to make lives easier for almost 21 years. It's just another way you always get something out. This is in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bets supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Attention, 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 attention. The Department of Transport is verifying TRN. These are traffic register number holders. So they're verifying TRN certificates issued to natural persons between the 1st of January 2000 and the 30th of June 2023 to clear dormant records. From the Nature system, if you've received a TRN during this period, visit transport.gov.za and use the TRN portal for more information and to check whether your number appears on the dormant list. Affected holders have 30 days from the date of the publication of this notice to verify their details and submit the required documents at the listed provincial offices. For inquiries, visit trn@dot.gov.za using your TRN number as the subject line. This message was issued by the Department of Transport.
Are you an investor who likes easy access to your money, or do you prefer locking it away?
Absolutely, to both.
ABSA has an account for you. Earn up to 7.5% with ABSA Cash Invest Tracker and get immediate access to your money. Or earn up to 7.7% with a 12-month dynamic fixed deposit account. Invest on the ABSA app. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Minimum investment required. Rates as of July 2026.
So what are you doing this weekend? Well, from the 28th to the 30th of August, Friday to Sunday, the Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, will bring you energy, excitement, and adrenaline. It's all about motoring at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. The Festival of Motoring puts you at the heart of the action. From exhilarating track experiences and performance cars to 4x4 adventures handling experiences the sights and sounds of Kyalami. This isn't just an experience. This is something you are immersed in. And so whether you are a serious petrol head looking for your next car, chasing an adrenaline rush, simply looking for an exciting day out, the Festival of Motoring will bring cars, experiences, entertainment, food, the motoring community together in one place for 3 glorious days of motoring, energy and entertainment. The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit from the 28th to the 30th of August. Get your tickets now on Howler. Don't just hear about it, be there. This is in partnership with 702. And in this next half an hour, if you stay listening, you could potentially win 2 tickets to the Festival of Motoring.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Adam, deal or no deal? No deal.
Yeah, no deal at the moment. And indeed, Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, looks like the first world leader ever to walk away from Donald Trump negotiations. I know others have sort of prevaricated or hesitated, but he's actually said, nah, that's it for us. As Mark Carney put it, you're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked. This is because the United States, or Donald Trump's administration anyway, is imposing fresh 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian goods, steel, dairy, appliances, electronics. It's very complicated with cars because a lot of cars in the Americas are built by Canada, United States and Mexico jointly. So who's tariffing whom? Donald Trump has replied, Canada wants the benefits of being a US state without being one. This is his 51st state shtick that he seems to level at Canada every now and again. The American president says American farmers have been charged massive amounts of tariffs for years. There are quite a lot of tariffs that we're not necessarily always aware of that are going on. So he has a point sometimes, does Donald Trump, about other countries imposing certain limits. But to have a go at your nearest neighbor like this, as Mark Carney is now saying, we will match you dollar for dollar, it's getting pretty heavy.
It is indeed. Now, it's one thing to use bricks and mortar, but lava?
How's that? Yeah, lava to construct buildings. That's the idea of 2 Icelandic architects. One is called Arnhildur Pálmadóttir. Her son has a much more complicated name I won't attempt because I would offend Icelanders. Immediately I tried. Anyway, these 2 architects have seen rather a lot of volcanic eruptions, especially in Iceland's coastal town of Grindavik. We've mentioned that before, haven't we, about residents evacuating and so forth. And what they've looked at is what molten lava hardens into. And they say this absolutely could be harnessed, they say. Very cheap. The climate impacts are from the volcanic eruptions, not from what you do with the spill. And they reckon even a moderate amount could make an enormous difference. So their idea is to employ robots, because this is obviously too hot for humans, to go into lava fields, pick up the red hot rock, then use cooling chambers and 3D printing and other things. And you can essentially shape and size the molten, now hardening lava rock into whatever you like, bricks, tiles, you name it. They say by 2050, this could be a thing. It's a very hot idea, but it's also pretty cool, isn't it?
Now, Adam, you reek what you sow.
Yes. Okay. We'll apologize for this in advance. It's called the Brown Challenge. It is a revolting summer social media craze across Europe, in particular in Spain. 2 Spanish aqua parks have had to close in the last couple of days, sometimes up to 48 hours by law, because people are deliberately pooping or releasing poop from a bag into swimming pools and aqua parks and forcing them to close down. A dirty deed that is not impressing hotels and water parks. Now, in case you think this is just a little sort of flash in the pan, 300 swimming pools across Spain have had to be closed at various stages because of these dirty deeds. So obviously aqua park officials are making this their number 1 and number 2 priority. They clearly want to get to the bottom of this and crack down. But if there's 300 swimming pools affected, that is potentially multiple perpetrators who are responsible. How will they find them?
That makes no sense whatsoever, Adam. But people are doing it nonetheless. This morning's worldview.
EWN Business.
What, with things that smell far more pleasant, Muteo is here to tell us about MTN reporting solid results for the first half of the year.
Yeah, releasing results this morning, MTN says it recorded strong growth and great earnings in the first 6 months of 2026. Group revenue increased by 9.7% to 115 billion rand, while data revenue was also up 21% to 57.6 billion rand. Total customers are up 6.7% to 317 million users. Active data subscribers also increased by 9% to 179 users. MTN says the fintech transaction value is up 33.8% to $330 billion or 5.2 trillion rand.
And, of course, the markets?
Yeah, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. will unveil the single greatest financial offensive against Iran as they try impose sanctions to win over the Strait of Hormuz. The looming escalation comes as both sides missed a 60-day ceasefire window to reach a deal, closing off the formal truce mechanism aimed at ending the Middle East war now in its sixth month. Investors are trading cautiously as a result, believing that the U.S.-Iran war would continue for longer, keeping oil prices elevated and driving inflation higher. That impacted markets this morning in Asia. Japan's Nikkei falling 0.5%, while the Topix added just 0.22%. South Korea's Kospi also dropped by 3.5%, but the small cap Kosdaq gained marginally. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index was down 2%, while in mainland China, the CSI 300 was down more than 1%. Then on our markets, the rand doing quite well against the US dollar, 16.01 at this hour. 18 rand 69 against the euro, and 21 rand 84 cents gets you a British pound. Price of gold is up more than 1% at $4,651 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,900. Brent crude at exactly $93 a barrel. I'll bring you more business later this afternoon.
8:31, your time check. Let's go straight to the news desk. In this next half an hour, we give away those 2 tickets to the Festival of Motoring, and we meet the latest singer to be unmasked. Sfisa Zulu, what do you have?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. Police in the Eastern Cape have arrested 2 more suspects in connection with the murder of boxing legend Zolani Tete. This brings to 4 the number of people who've been caught for the attack. Tete was shot on Friday as he entered the driveway of his home in Danzane. A 27-year-old woman who was traveling with him was wounded and remains in hospital. Kosikona Malingamnisi reports.
Police rounded up 2 people in Kukompo City on Saturday, followed by another 3 yesterday, 1 in Mdanzane and 2 in Scenery Park. However, one of the 2 people apprehended on Saturday has since been released, bringing the number of suspects currently in custody to 4. A 22-year-old man arrested on the same day has now been formally charged with murder and attempted murder. Police say there were insufficient grounds to keep the 30-year-old male released in custody, adding that he remains a potential witness as investigators continue to establish exactly what happened in the final moments of Tete's life. Eastern Cape Police spokesperson Nobuntu Kan.
The SAPS commends the investigating team for their diligence and appeals to anyone with credible information to come forward.
Police say all information will be treated confidentially. Khona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News in the Eastern Cape.
2 suspects linked to a cross-border theft syndicate have been arrested in Centurion. The men were travelling along the N1 on Saturday when they were stopped by Tshwane Metro Police. Several motorcycle parts were found inside their car, which the suspects could not account for. Officials confirmed the motorcycles were stolen in separate cases around Gauteng and were being smuggled out of the country. The police's Puleng Mutolo.
Recovered items include a black Toyota Foxy, a Honda, a Yamaha, and a True Triumph motorcycle engines. The estimated value of the stolen property is 880,000 rand.
Infrastructure maintenance and development remains at the top of the ANC's commitment list ahead of the local government elections. Speaking at the ANC's election manifesto launch near Diepsloot yesterday, the party's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, outlined its pledges for the next 5 years. While he acknowledges the ANC has faced hurdles since the dawn of democracy, Ramaphosa says the ANC has done well in improving critical infrastructure since 1994.
What we've been experiencing thus far is that our
various spheres of government have been working alone in isolation. Going forward, comrades, we are now going to work together to resolve even problems such as these. Over the next 5 years, the ANC-led municipalities will prioritize the maintenance and renewal of infrastructure.
And Russia says 2 children are among the people killed by falling debris from a Ukrainian drone attack in the south of the country. 9 other people were wounded when the debris fell onto a childcare center in Krasnodar. The latest attacks come as Ukraine prepares to mark the 35th anniversary of its independence today. Russia has railed against the attacks on its civilian infrastructure more than 4 years into its full-scale offensive on Ukraine that has killed thousands of civilians. A fine day in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 25 and 27 degrees.
And in the traffic in the city of Tshwane, we've got heavy traffic volumes. This is between Linwood Road and the Flying Saucer interchange. A major accident happened there. Please be on the lookout while traveling. In Fountains Valley, we've got heavy delays as well on the N14 North approaching Euphues Road due to another accident.
The top story this hour, Eastern Cape Police have arrested 2 more suspects in connection with the murder of boxing legend Zolani Tete.
Jenny, it's the Crazy Store's birthday! What? Your budget flew away! No! 20% off everything! Who said that you can't sing? No! 20% off when you spend over 200 Rand! Your husband's running off with Anne! I said, it's the Crazy Store's birthday! 20% off everything! Okay, you don't have to shout.
It's the Crazy Store's birthday. Save 20% when you spend 200 Rand or more. T's and C's apply. The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find.
Where are you in your career? Are you a professional reaching an inflection point? So whether you're climbing the career ladder or gearing up for retirement, proper financial planning is always key. And the Professional Provident Society Retirement Summit happening on the 19th of September is designed to help ease anxiety around retirement and to get you on the road to financial freedom, no matter your life stage. It's back for its 6th edition, and I've been to 1 or 2 before. The PPS Retirement Summit will feature keynote speakers. This year, they've got author and business speaker Bruce Whitfield, as well as financial expert Mapalo Maku. You'll also get to join stimulating panel discussions. There'll be under 45s and over 45s. They'll address wealth accumulation, wealth preservation, and different generational needs associated with each. Now, to secure your future, you've got to make sure you secure your seat at pps.co.za/retirement summit now. It's only $150 per person, and that, of course, is donated to the PPS Foundation in aid of developing education in South Africa. You remember we spoke to them just the other day about the work they do as a corporate that cares. So, the Professional Provident Society Retirement Summit, Saturday, 19th September at NH in Sandton.
You're listening to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX, technology that helps organizations move forward.
Good morning, Bongza and listeners. Bongza, on regard of whether we will give the ANC a chance to take charge of this country again, personally, I will say yes. I was one of those voters who decided not to go along with an ANC, but looking at a distance, how the party has suffered the loss of the majority rule in our country, I personally decided to rejoin ANC again and go and vote and make a difference in the area that I'm residing, Victor Mashinini, Slovoville, Pelandaba.
Morning, Brabong, Sam Sweden, and Watema. I haven't been voting for ANC for a while now, but this year I'm going to vote for it because here in Ekurhuleni, we have tried DA, we have tried EFF, and things went from bad to worse. Now we're back to ANC once again, and things are looking better. Here in Aguatema, when we experience power cuts, they are attended to in reasonable time. When we're about to experience water cuts, we are informed in advance. Hence, I'm going to give ANC a second chance for a change this year. Once again, thank you.
Morning, Bongani. Mhlengwe here in Bramfishavo. You know, the ANC is the only party that I've supported since our liberation. So I'm a firm believer in that. You know, you don't paint everybody with the same brush. Yes, there are a few rotten or corrupt, rather, individuals, but not everyone is corrupt. We've still got what I would refer to as ethical leaders in the ANC. So I'm a hardcore ANC supporter, and I'll vote them until I go down the grave. Nice show as always. Thanks, Bongani.
So there they are, the ANC supporters, through the good times and the bad times, for better or worse, in sickness and in health. What do you make of that?
EWN Sport.
Anthony Teixeira, let's talk football. Not all the opening games have been concluded.
No, in actual fact, the Premier League still has one more game left in this opening match day. It takes place this evening with the London derby as Chelsea heads to Craven Cottage to take on Fulham. The weekend so far has only had one draw. It was a 2-2 produced between Liverpool and Newcastle. Yesterday there were also wins for Man City and Brighton, but the season started on Friday with the defending champs Arsenal winning their match. Saturday was the day of upsets as Man United and Spurs were shocked by Hull City and Brentford respectively, and there were wins for Everton, Leeds and Ipswich Town upon their return to the English top flight. Back home, we had the MTN8 semi-final first legs, Orlando Pirates winning 1-0 at the old Peter Mokaba Stadium over Sekhukhune United. Mamelodi Sundowns unable to turn home advantage into a goal advantage as they lost 1-0 to Golden Arrows, while the Sundowns women are there through to the Kusafa Qualifier Champions League semi-finals. They won their second outing in Group B over the Silver Strikers. 3-0 it was, Karabo Dlamini at the double. In rugby, the Springboks' brutal scrum, just about the only part of their game which sung in their 33-16 loss to the All Blacks in the first test of the greatest rivalry tour. Coach Rassie Erasmus reminding the world they've had tougher situations before.
We've been in many catastrophic situations in our lives. We lost the first test against British and Irish Lions. Everybody said that catastrophic. We lost the first pool game against New Zealand in the World Cup. Everybody says that catastrophic. So we've been in a lot of catastrophic situations in our lives. Obviously, we're now in a position, if we want to win a series, we have to win 3 games on a trot. So without a doubt, it puts them in a very good position, which they thoroughly deserve.
Second test is Saturday with the pair clashing at the DHL Stadium. After the penultimate round of the Currie Cup season, the Cheetahs and the Griquas, the only sides to have secured a semi-final berth after victories. The Bulls still without a win this season. The Stormers beat them to keep their knockout hopes alive, while there was a draw between the Sharks and the Lions, which means they're still both in contention of finishing in the top 4. SA Sports Awards took place Sunday. Simone Kruger was named Sportswoman of the Year with a disability, becoming the Discus F38 World Champion last year, while Pusaletso Maboti also claimed the Sportsman of the Year award with a disability after his 100-meter gold at the same event. Akani Simbini walking away with the Sports Star of the Year. He was on the track in the Diamond League as he finished 5th in the men's 100-meter final, while Gifli Otlela was 2nd. Meanwhile, Zakiti Nene claimed bronze in the men's 400 meters. And at the FIH Hockey World Cup, the South African men have booked an 11th place playoff for Friday. They managed a 3-3 draw with the Malaysians on Sunday, while the South African women won their match 3-2 against Chile and made Thursday's 13th place final. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
So the other day I get this call from an insurance company. The lady asked me if I'm comfortable with my excess. I said, excess? Well, according to my therapist, I'm apparently a little too comfortable. But sometimes you just need to make sure. You know what I mean? She just put down the phone. I don't get it.
Don't get that insurance. Get Pineapple. It's easy to get and online. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. T's and C's apply.
Welcome spring to Jozi, 6 September at Narok Sculpture Park in the heart of the cradle of humankind. Inspired by the South's sounds and scents of Africa, shaping rhythm and emotion. Spring Jazz continues its tradition of artistic excellence, inspiring contemplation and celebration. A breath taken in wonder, in gratitude and community, featuring performances by Ndaba Zulu's Umgidi Ensemble, Nomfundo Qaluva, Vuyo Viwe, Sisonke Xunti, and Shane Cooper's Spirit Whisper. Limited tickets are available from nyroxarts.com. Nyrox is a private, not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds and the artist residency program and artist support.
EWN Traffic.
Let's wrap up the morning's traffic exactly now, 8:45. It's been a busy Monday, Amu.
It has been indeed, Bongani. If you are still traveling within the city of Tshwane, do expect heavy traffic volumes along the N1 South between Gasfontein Road and the Flying Saucer interchange due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic reported in Kempton Park. This along the R21 South, right near Atlas Road, an accident there. Delays from the R25, and then peak time delays on the M1 South between the Baklu interchange and Corlett Drive. More updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Running a courier business is so hard these days. The petrol price, the breakdown costs, and so much more. Luckily, I'm with My Way Business Insurance. I get to save up to 20% on my insurance premiums for my vehicles and goods in transit. And just like that, I have more money for all my costs.
Switch to My Way Business Insurance and save up to 20% on your vehicle and goods in transit. Real businesses, real savings. Call us on 0860 646464 today for a quote. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
Cloud adoption is no longer the differentiator. Business value is. Today's leading organizations need more than technology platforms. They need better visibility, faster decision-making, and the agility to respond to change. BCX connects cloud, cybersecurity, managed services, AI, and trusted telecom business connectivity into one intelligent ecosystem that helps organizations improve operational performance, strengthen resilience, and create measurable business outcomes. BCX, Connected Multi-Cloud, Intelligent Business. BCX enables businesses. Visit bcx.co.za.
Struggling with maths or want to improve your grades? Listen up. The Shaya Isibalo Maths Institute, SIMI for short, already helps thousands of high school learners, parents, and teachers with CAPS-aligned maths workbooks, free teaching videos, and revision sessions. Created by Michael House maths teacher Paul DeVette. SIMI is a maths movement already improving grades across South Africa. Go to primemediaplus.com or simi.education. Proudly supported by Prime Media Cares and Michael House Community Partnership Trust.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Coming up next, the Clement Manyatela show. But as we get ready to hear what will be on the show this morning, to win those Festival of Motoring tickets this weekend, happening from the 28th to the 30th of August, I need to know the answer to one very simple question. Why don't you WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702? Where will the Festival of Motoring happen this weekend? Send us your name and the answer via WhatsApp, not as a voice note, just as a text on WhatsApp to 072 702 1702. And you stand the chance of winning 2 tickets to the Festival of Motoring.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
Smart business moves mean more cash flow. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's Dr. Fahim from Matrix Dental.
We were with our previous insurers for many years prior to the switch. We found that Outsurance really understood our business needs. We are happy with our premiums. I wish we had switched sooner.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0800 60,000. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Just Andalex it.
Do you have a sore throat? Andalex C Oral Rinse and Spray provides targeted relief from 1 minute that lasts up to 4 hours. It reduces pain and inflammation while numbing the affected areas. It also kills viruses and bacteria that cause sore throats to help prevent serious throat infections. Andalex, South Africa's #1 choice for sore mouth and throats. For more information, speak to your healthcare professional.
Just Andalex it.
Andalex, a proud sponsor of The Masked Singer Season 3. You hear that? That's the sound of business execution finally visible. No more chasing people and reports, no more disconnected systems, no more guessing if our business is performing or not. iStratGo connects strategy, people, performance, and day-to-day work into one clear software platform, so leaders can see what's working, what's not, and where to focus. Because when execution is visible, everything runs better. Book a demo on istratgo.com. istratgo.com.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Morning, Bongani. Everyone who's voting ANC or who talk about ANC renewal are the people only who benefited, people who have been employed, people who are getting food parcels, people who are getting job opportunity. Not everyone will vote for ANC. And the ANC have messed up.
Bongani, the ANC have committed injustices for South Africa or against South Africa, but for all of the other political parties to sit by for 32 years and twiddle their thumbs, I don't trust any of them either. Thanks, Chad.
Hi, Bongani and 702. Really disappointing for me to hear those ANC voters giving the ANC another chance. I was hoping that the country would, get together and take this corrupt party out of power and give someone else a chance to run the show. Yes, as I'm so gutted. I'm so disappointed by those, and I know they just represent a small fraction. But I feel that the predominantly black voters are too forgiving to this party that has kept kicking them even when they're down. I know the ANC's done a lot, but they're not what they used to be. I'm so gutted that people still want to give this party a chance. Cry, my beloved country. I'm so sorry, South Africa. They're going to put you through this nonsense again, probably for another 4 or 5 years. Wow. So sorry, South Africa. Bye.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
The one and only King Pie!
It's not an easy song to sing.
On a dark desert highway.
Okay.
Cool wind in my hair.
Wow.
Warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw shimmering lights. My head grew heavy and my sock grew dim. I had to stop for the night.
Oh man, he's checked out, but he hasn't left
yet.
If you thought King Pie was just a pastry, think again. The latest celebrity to be unmasked on The Masked Singer South Africa was none other than the musician and entrepreneur Rikus de Beer, better known as Radio Raps. He had the detectives guessing all season. He performed Miley Cyrus's party in the USA, and the crown has fallen. Well, at least it came off. He's here in studio to chat to us. The man behind King Pie, the experience, the clues, and his fantastic singing talent. I said off air as we were listening to the song. Firstly, if nothing else, great song choice.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, what a classic. I mean, it's
singing
amazing.
competitions are all about that, right?
Yeah. You have to get it right, and especially I did a bit of singing in Afrikaans in my band, but to connect with a larger audience, you have to dabble a bit and challenge yourself.
Yeah, I think that's where I got it wrong. I didn't choose a song people necessarily knew or loved or could connect with, but it's as much your performance as much as it is about the song that you choose, so that then people start rooting for you.
Exactly, because everybody makes an emotional connection with a specific song. So whether it was in a bar doing karaoke, whether it was on a next to the Springboks before the Springboks play, let's not talk about that. But yeah, there's always an emotional connection, and if the song choice is right, then that brings up that emotion. So I thought you're going to have to challenge yourself a bit and do something out of the ordinary.
So talk to me about keeping it a secret, keeping it hush.
Yeah.
Were there people who said, is it you?
Funny enough, I got a couple of comments on Instagram. We're like, sorry, but are you the King Pie masked singer? And I just hid. I was like, oh damn it, I don't want to start something anyway and give this attention. So it was, but luckily not. I must say it was. I'm quite good at keeping secrets. You have to in life. Yeah. There's the whole rhyme about snitches, but yeah, it was difficult. It wasn't that difficult for me.
I mean, at the same time, you're used to performing, you're used to singing, but it's also a different experience to almost do it as not yourself.
Yes,
and to perform, of course, wearing the mask.
Yes,
and that whole experience, it gives a different, I think, side to what you can do on stage.
Totally. I mean, if you look at the although the mask was very cool and everything, you have no joint sticking out hand-wise, so you only have your wrists basically, and there's no. I do a lot of stand-up as well, and that's all eyes. That's all eyes and expressions, and you don't have that. So you have to back your voice.
That face. You have that face where I could just look at you.
Yes, and and people are like, sorry, I don't want to say it, but you look fun. I'm like, thank you. You look nice too.
My favorite comedians, I laugh before they've said anything.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, things have changed since then, but Bill Cosby probably had that face better than anybody else.
Incredible.
But also Barry Hilton.
Eddie Murphy.
Right? Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, Barry Hilton's face is like the...
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy,
The eyes tell the story.
We can disagree on that one, I think. But how much fun was it to drop clues? Because you could talk comedy, you could talk sport, you could talk rugby, you could talk music.
Yeah.
And you're kind of all over the place.
Exactly.
And
So
we can't pin you down.
that was fun because I thought like, good luck, guys. Good luck doing this. And that's why I did a bit of a focus on weird song choices, because I thought maybe the voice will do it. Maybe, I don't know. But if the song choice is weird enough, they won't connect it. But it was fun. It was, because I am kind of all over the place. Like I said, I do what I do until I don't like it anymore. Then I restart the process.
And what's next for you?
Well, funny enough, my dogs are my children, and we're going a bit in the pet space. We're going to get some super premium food and stuff out there, as well as a whole holistic approach to the pet market. So looking forward to that, something out of my comfort zone, but I enjoy business. I enjoy a couple of projects and things that I'm busy with that side, and this is one of the big things. That's why I'm moved out my stand-up and performing career with a couple of months and maybe even a year.
Well, I want to talk to you about that when you get there. But we always like to have a bit of fun with our guests. KG, we're going to play rapid fire.
Okay.
Without hesitation, without doubting, without thinking, without second guessing. As quickly as you can, please answer this. TikTok or YouTube?
YouTube.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Early morning or late night?
Early morning.
Interviewing a celebrity or an ordinary person with an incredible story?
Ordinary person.
Money or fame?
Wow, do you have to choose?
Money or fame?
Fame.
Really?
I think the money can come.
Call or voice note?
Voice note.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Road trip or flight?
Depends. Road trip.
Plan everything?
No.
Or wing it?
Wing it.
Dark humor or dad jokes?
Woo. Tough. Dad jokes.
I gotta tell you, I'm reading this book. It's on anti-gravity. I can't put it down.
You see, Bongani, you have to explore that side of yourself.
I'm so hot. My mother still calls me son.
Oh, that's so bad. It's actually good.
Congratulations, Rikas de Beer, aka Radio Raps, the latest singer to be unmasked in Masked Singer South Africa.
Thanks, guys.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
We're giving away 2 tickets, of course, to the Festival of Motoring happening this weekend. And I wanted to know from you, from the 28th to the 30th of August, Shane, where will the Festival of Motoring happen?
Good morning, Bongani. It will take place at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, Kyalami, Johannesburg.
Now tell me, why do you want to go? Are you a petrol head? Are you just looking for cars or the full experience?
I'm just looking for cars, mainly the classics for Bongani. Last year they had a nice classics at the top level.
So you've been there before?
I have.
It's only a pleasure to give you 2 tickets, Shane, to the Festival of Motoring happening this weekend. Brought to you by Westbank. Congratulations, Shane. See you there. I hope you have lots and lots of fun. That's happening, of course, this weekend from the 28th to the 30th of August. And Shane will get to go.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Up next, the Clement Manyatela Show. Clement is broadcasting from Cape Town, so he'll be telling you in a moment or so what will be up on his show. That's it for us. It is 9 o'clock and the start for the Clement Manyatela Show. 7:02 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa was brought to you by BCX, connecting cloud, telecom business connectivity, AI, and more to help organizations reduce complexity, improve resilience, and unlock opportunities.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Alleged crime assault with his legal team. This as his testimony initially scheduled for September was brought forward at the 11th hour. Khomotso Modise has more.
When Vusmozi Kat Matala appeared before the Madlanga Commission